uncertain.
He's also signaling it's not clear how long clarity will take. But in the meantime, Powell says data shows the economy to be resilient and in good shape overall. The U.S. Treasury chief and trade representative plan to hold an initial meeting with Chinese officials this weekend in Switzerland. President Trump telling reporters he does not plan to ease tariffs on China ahead of that meeting. The Justice Department loses a round in the latest tug of war over students detained after pro-Palestinian activities.
A federal appeals court has ordered Tufts doctoral student Rumeysa Ozturk returned to Vermont, where her attorney was at the time they challenged her detention. She was arrested by ICE agents in Somerville, Massachusetts in March, but then held at a facility in Louisiana. Her attorney argues she's being held for writing an op-ed that accuses Israel of genocide and apartheid. But U.S. government officials have accused her of supporting Hamas. The State Department had revoked her visa in detaining her. But now the Second Court of Appeals says she must be returned to Vermont, where she's due Friday for a bail hearing. The judges wrote in their decision that the U.S. government's failed to show it is likely to succeed on the merits of its appeal.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. No word yet on the result of a first vote in the Sistine Chapel, where 133 cardinals are behind closed doors to begin choosing a new pope. The conclave beginning just over 3 hours ago after each cardinal took an oath of secrecy. America is listening to Fox News.
The doctor's office.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The arrests of people accused of exploiting children. Some clouds around this afternoon. The projected high is 77. Right now it's 74 on Monument Circle. Nothing on radar. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 3:02. A child sexting includes people in Indiana. Jarrett Lewis reports.
Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel both announcing Wednesday that 205 people believed to be child predators have been arrested in the last week.
If you harm our children, you will be given no sanctuary. There is no place we will not come to hunt you down. There is no place we will not look for you. And there is no cage we will not put you in.
It's called Operation Restore Justice, a joint effort between the FBI and DOJ to find, arrest, and prosecute people who go after children. At least 115 children have been rescued.
In Indiana, the people arrested include 33-year-old Robert Lepenzi Jr. of Evansville, 29-year-old James Dean Collette of New Albany, 35-year-old Eric Lee Dickon of Columbus, and 45-year-old Bo Thornbow of Lebanon, already a convicted sex offender. A heads up on some expected lane closures for I-65 north of downtown Friday night. 9 p.m. Friday, crews will close the left 2 lanes of northbound 65 between 21st Street and 38th Street, Kessler Boulevard. All lanes are expected to reopen by 6 o'clock Saturday morning. More projects are being planned, which could cause some traffic hassles. For the Monon Bridge over 86th Street, long wanted by people who use the trail, the project has just been awarded to a contractor, so look for some info to come on when that will start. Also, the Nickel Plate Bridge over 82nd has been awarded to a contractor, so info to come on that one too. In October, 23-year-old Army Sergeant Sarah Roque from Ligonier was found murdered, her body put in a dumpster. Tuesday at Fort Leonard Wood, Specialist Worcester Rancy faced a hearing, which is another step in possibly putting him on trial, military style, for her killing. Rancy is charged with murder and obstructing justice. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. M-O-S-S, mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
What's happening, Chris? Looking to westbound 70 at Henry County, slowing.
couple of miles after State Road 109, and that lasts for about a mile and a half. This stop-and-go traffic on westbound 70. Eastbound 465 slow Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 stop-and-go traffic from 21st to Meridian Penn. And eastbound 70 slows from Harding into the South Split, a 3-minute delay. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Partly to mostly cloudy conditions throughout the afternoon. It's going to be a warmer Wednesday with highs into the mid and upper 70s. Tonight, clouds with lows near 57. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Tara Hastings for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it! I don't know about you, but I'm still pretty fired up about that Pacers game last night.
Yeah.
We'll get to that here in just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Jason Hammer. That is Big Nige.
Hey, now.
And it's been a little while since we've done this. I'm not even sure if I can still pull it off, Nige, but we're going to find out.
What's that? What are you talking about?
We're going to check in with wheelin', dealin', hair-sniffing, kiss-stealing Joe Biden.
I got hairy legs.
Happy birthday, dear Valerie. Katanji drowned Jackson.
Remember when Biden won the election, Nige, and we thought, man, we're losing all these great Trump bits, no more chopper pressers. What are we going to do for the next 4 years? And then Trump won again, and we thought, we're losing the gibberish, man. We're losing all these bits. It's been a bit since we've heard from old Hair Sniff McGee, but he popped up doing an interview with a British television outlet, the BBC, and journalist Nick Robinson.
I got a question.
Yes, sir.
Why? There's questions for the BBC. Why? Questions for Joe Biden. Why? Who cares?
Now, for Joe Biden, I think he just wanted people to know
he doesn't know where he's at.
He's still alive. He might not know where he's at, but he's still breathing oxygen.
To quote Joe Biden, I'm not going nuts.
But if you're Nick Robertson and the BBC here, Nick Robinson, yeah, it's a good question. How many people canceled on you until you got to Joe Biden? Can you get us Trump? He's busy. J.D. Vance, busy. How about Kash Patel, Pam Bondi? No.
Biden's people are still trying to get a hold of us. What do you think?
He's asleep out in the couch in the hallway right now, actually.
All right, wake him up. Bring him in here.
So Joe Biden still talking about how Donald Trump is a threat to democracy, and somehow everything always comes back to Vladimir Putin.
Do you really believe that there is a greater threat now to democracy than at any time since the Second World War?
Yes, I do. Because, I mean, look at the number of European leaders in European countries. They're wondering, well, what do I do now? I mean, what's the best route for me to take?
What?
Can I rely on the United States? Are they going to be there? Look, imagine there being no NATO. Do you think Putin would have stopped at Ukraine? Do we think Putin would have stopped I don't understand how they fail to understand that there's strength in alliances.
I don't want other nations relying on us. That's my answer to that. There are several things in there we could comment on. You might have a couple of things, but I don't want other nations depending on us. I want our citizens of the United States depending on each other, and I want national security. I want our borders to be protected, but I don't want other nations. For instance, Israel. Israel counts on us to be a good ally, and they count on us maybe to give them some weapons and some, but they don't want our help in terms of boots on the ground or anything like that. I don't want them relying on us. I don't want Ukraine. I don't want anybody relying on us, Mr. President.
And let's be honest here, to the old hair sniffer in chief, the reason that Russia invaded Ukraine was because you became the president. It didn't happen under Donald Trump because Vladimir Putin, old Pootie Tang, thought, you know what? I may be a crazy bastard, but that guy over there might be crazier than I am.
Yeah,
so we're going to kind of toe the line right now.
Look, I mean, Kamala Harris, to get into the weeds on this, I mean, that's part of the reason why she was all in doing that little European tour she did back then. Oh, yeah, NATO, come on in, Ukraine, come on in. And that was it for Russia. That was it.
In this interview, they talked about that little back and forth that Trump and J.D. Vance had with Zelensky at the White House.
What did you make of those scenes in the Oval Office? President Trump and President Zelensky.
Oh, boy.
I found it sort of beneath America, the way that took place. And the way we talk about now that, well, it's just the Gulf of America. Maybe we're going to have to take back Panama. Maybe we need to acquire Greenland.
Oh, for God's
Maybe
sake.
Canada should be. What the hell's going on here?
For God's sake. Oh.
What president ever talks like that? That's not who we are. We're about freedom, democracy, opportunity, not about confiscation.
We've been talking about this thing of the Donald Trump. Yeah, we're gonna go we're gonna invade and take over Greenland. Yeah, we're gonna go. Canada's gonna be the 51st state. First of all, I thought what they did with Zelensky in that Oval Office was appropriate. Zelensky was acting like a petulant little child, expecting things from Trump and Vance,
and that's what Trump ran on. Like, he told everybody, listen, it's going to be a lot of tough love to some people when it comes to passing out our money now.
Play just the beginning of that again. I feel like that noise that Biden made after the question was the same noise he makes after he lets one fly.
What did you make of those scenes in the Oval Office? President Trump and President Zelensky.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you. And for those of you scoring at home, that back and forth was beneath the presidency, but having topless trannies doing photo ops in the White House lawn is just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine.
Yeah, Trans Day on Easter. Yeah.
Topless. Did I mention they were topless? Because there were some that were topless.
That was beneath the Oval Office.
Now, here is an interesting one. It's a little long, so I want you to hang in there because Joe Biden takes him a long time to talk, right? I tried to cut out as much dead air, uhs and grunts as I could.
Why?
But this is still
my favorite.
About a minute long, so hang in there.
Okay, all right.
He talks about dropping out of the race, going against Trump, and toward the end, I still feel like there's a little bad blood between Joe Biden and the Democratic Party that shoved him off that cliff.
You said, I'm the man who can stop Donald Trump. And you did once. And in the end, you withdrew from that election campaign at the last minute. Did you leave it too late? Should you have withdrawn earlier, given someone else a bigger chance?
I don't think it would have mattered. We left at a time when we had a good candidate. She was fully funded. And what happened was I had become what we had set out to do. No one thought we could do. And become so successful in our agenda, it was hard to say, no, I'm going to stop now. I meant what I said when I started, that I think I'm prepared to hand this to the next generation. It's a transition government. But things moved so quickly that it made it difficult to walk away. And it was a hard decision. But
regrets, though?
No, I think it was the right decision. I think that it was just a difficult decision.
Now, keep in mind, I cut out a lot of the awkward pauses there.
Man, that was long. What had happened was, I'll tell you exactly what happened after the debate between Trump and Biden, Master Obama gave his minion, George Clooney, permission to write an op-ed in the New York Times as to why Joe Biden needs to leave.
And they sent the Grim Reaper, which was Chuck Schumer, over to tell Joe it's over. That's how it works.
That's it.
If you've ever watched Hard Knocks, like the NFL reality series on HBO, each team has a guy that's tasked with going around telling the players, you're not going to make it, you're getting cut. Yeah. That was Chuck Schumer's role.
And then all of a sudden you have millions and millions of Democrats across this country with a candidate they didn't vote for their candidate for president.
They didn't vote for in the primary 4 years before then. Somebody that finished toward the bottom.
I think she was the first to drop out, if I'm not mistaken.
You're right. So
wow. Why are they talking to this guy?
Here to recap the entire 10-minute conversation.
Okay.
Joining us now on the hotline, AI Joe Biden.
Hey, did you guys, did you hear me on the radio?
What?
I did an interview all by myself. Hey, I heard that turtles don't have a pee-pee.
Oh.
Nigel, where's Nigel?
He's here.
Hey.
Anyway, I hear Matlock is coming on. I gotta go.
All right. Very well thought out breakdown right there from former President Joe Biden.
It's good to hear from him.
And I don't know that about turtles. I'm going to need to double check that. Matt Bear, what's going on?
All right, looking at Henry County to Hancock County. Westbound 70 stop and go traffic a couple miles after State Road 109. And the delay lasts for about 2 miles now. Eastbound 465 on the northeast side slow. Keystone Avenue 269. Inbound 65, time from 29th to Meridian Pennant. Eastbound 70 slowing down from West Street into the south. Split south side. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic before I-69 over to Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Sunshine 75 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And man, that Pacers game last night, oh man.
Incredible.
For the second time in 8 days, heroics. We'll talk about that. We're going to have a fun show today. Let's laugh, let's cry, let's have a good time, let's feel all the feelings. Maybe that's the alcohol talking, I don't know, but we're going to have a good show today. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Hammer and Nigel Show love American Standard Heating and Air, all because they are built to a higher standard. I have an American Standard air conditioner installed at my place, and I only use American Standard dealers to service that air conditioner. Here's Hammer to tell you about one of those awesome independent American Standard dealers in Central Indy.
Family Heating and Air Conditioning. The Morris family and their staff ready to hook you up this spring. You could call Rachel, Marcus, or Malia today to make sure that system is ready for the hot summer weather ahead. Family Heating and Air always encourages you to call them for a free second opinion. If you've already got a quote from another company and it doesn't look right, contact Family because nobody cares for you like family. Also, ask them about how to get better indoor air quality. 317-577-8077. That's Family Heating and Air, 577-8077. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you. American Standard Heating and Air, built to a higher standard.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
The Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay. Stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years, regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
What is 988? It's a way forward. It's a listening ear. It's whatever help you need, when you need it. The 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline offers trained crisis specialists ready to talk to you 24/7. If you or someone you love is experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis in their life, call or text 988. Want more information? Visit 988indiana.org.
Hey, it's Marco Andretti. When you hit the pump, make a better choice for your wallet and the environment. Fuel up with an Indiana Corn ethanol blend. Unleaded 88 contains up to 15% ethanol and can be used in virtually every car, while that yellow cap or Flex Fuel logo means you can grab the E85 pump. No matter which one you choose, you are lowering the greenhouse gas emissions and your bill to fill. So next time you get to empty, choose an ethanol blend for your refill. Find a station at incornandsoy.org/ethanol. This message is brought to you by Indiana's corn farmers and their checkoff.
Is your well water pressure low? Tasting a little off? A neglected well can lead to costly repairs, but C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, has you covered with their well cleanout service and 6-point inspection. It's the lowest price of the year, and C&J will even throw in a free well cap to keep out the critters and crud from messing up your well. Your family deserves the purest, safest water straight from your own well. Schedule your well cleanout with C&J. Great systems and great people, too. 317-852-WELL.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hammer and Nigel here, inviting you to join us as we kick off the weekend every Friday around 5:45 with Beer Sample Friday, brought to you by our friends at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
It was such a beautiful night last night. Got out of here after the show, took the kiddos straight to softball practice, and the coach was kind enough to stay after to work with some of the girls. That was fine. Got home about halftime of that Pacer game. And I really, which is fine. Apparently they didn't play too well in the first 2 quarters.
The Pacers didn't show up until the second half either. So you weren't alone.
Okay, so I started watching in the third quarter, and it seemed to me, as much as I had missed the first 2 quarters, it seemed to me like things were changing in that game. Would that be accurate in favor of the Pacers?
It was late, but yeah. So they got down by 20 in that third quarter. They went into the fourth quarter, I think, down by 14, and then they were down by 7 with 47 seconds to go. And then magic. The same thing that happened in the Milwaukee game, which we thought was like a once-in-a-generational style comeback, happened again at Cleveland, and the Pacers win 120-119. They win both games at Cleveland. They lead the series 2-0, and now it comes back here to Indy Friday night for game number 3.
Down by 7 with what, a minute left? The Pacers?
47 seconds.
Okay, yeah, I want to give them credit where credit. 47 seconds. There were so many times. Again, I'm that guy. This game's over. Game's over. Game over. Game over. Once that dude with the headband from Cleveland hit that long 3 with maybe about a minute left or minute 10 left, I go, game over, game over. I'd say that's game over. And I did the same thing with the Bucks comeback game as well.
It was so identical, man.
It was.
Stupid turnovers by the other team. Like Cleveland threw the ball away a couple times.
I couldn't get a rebound. After the Pacer free throw.
And this is the Pacers Radio Network. Mark Boyle on the call. Pacers are down by 2, closing seconds. Halliburton at the free throw line.
Second one is short, and it's rebounded by Halliburton. 4 seconds to go. Halliburton for 3! 3 ball! Up top! Indiana by 1! 1 rebounded, 1/10 seconds to go. Inbound, Merrill didn't get it off, and this rivals the Milwaukee finish.
You have got to be kidding me.
The Pacer Radio Network last night.
I was screaming my ass off downstairs. Everybody else had kind of gone upstairs to do their own thing. Even my son was up there gaming, and I'm screaming my butt off, and everybody's like, what's going on? Are you okay? Did somebody get killed?
And then Halliburton, after he hits it, delivers the Pedro Serrano marbles celebration. If you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about.
We shared that on social media.
Yeah.
He might get fined for that, but who cares? Well worth it. Here is Halliburton after the game.
Yeah, we have so many different guys who chip in and play a part in these wins, and a total team effort, man. It's not. There's so many things that lead up to that play. Yes, that's one shot, but there's so many plays that lead up to that, and that's a total team win for us, and that's who we are. We are we're not a one-man show. We don't, we have so many different guys who can chip in, get in double figures. I mean, we had 6 guys in double figures tonight, and that's been the theme for us in our success many times. So.
Yeah, I love that too. I love that. I mean, that's one of the things I asked Eddie White, host of the Pacers postgame show. Like so many options to go to. I mean, Halliburton's face of the team, maybe questionably him and Miles Turner. But I mean, I heard you mention Toppin earlier.
Yeah, had a couple big shots off the bench.
Huge shots, and then Nimhard, and wow.
It was a team win last night, and the face of your franchise carried you home. Now, I heard you mention Eddie White's name. We had him on yesterday. He was a little fired up at that postgame show last night.
If you aren't entertained, and I said it the other night, there's a reason the name of this company is Pacers Sports and Entertainment. They have been, since January, the most exciting professional basketball team on the planet. And they play in your city, in your state, Friday night. The Indianapolis Zoo is going to be at 125 South Pennsylvania Street. Be there, be crazy, and let's make this sucker 3-0.
That was just a portion of what was a 7-minute rant by Eddie White last night. So fun to watch, man. And again, I'm a lifelong Pacer fan. I've seen Reggie do this his entire career.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't remember a postseason where Reggie had so many moments back to back. Like in 94, there was the 25-point fourth quarter against the Knicks. In 1995, the 8 points in 9 seconds. Fast forward a few years later, there's the push-off against Jordan, and he hits the shot. Some heroics against the Nets, like a half-court buzzer beater. All different years. This has been the same year for Tyrese Halliburton. It's been wild, man.
Oh, but players that participated in the athletics survey said that he was underrated, that Halliburton was overrated. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Overrated. Okay.
Did you catch the chant last night? So I think the Cavs star, Donovan Mitchell, who had damn near 50 last night, by the way, he heard the fans going, overrated. He knew that was going to fire up Halliburton. He was trying to get him to stop.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was like Peyton Manning coming up to the line, trying to get the crowd to calm down.
Sure.
He knew it was going to have an adverse effect, and it did.
And now we got a Friday night home game here in the city.
Get loud, man. If you're going, blow the roof off that joint. Have a good time. Get some beverages in you. Here to recap a wild night in Cleveland. AI Rick Carlisle.
Well, Cleveland sucks. I know we were all supposed to believe that Cleveland rocks, but I think the best thing about last night's win was getting on a plane and flying out of that dump of a city. I don't know how they all got courtside seats, but I've never seen so many fat chicks in all my life. And I thought it was against the league rule, but I know that I saw some of those big old women smoking Marlboro after Marlboro cigarettes in the arena. One large woman had sideburns, and another woman had 8 tattoos on her neck. I think that's what distracted Halliburton at the free throw line, but luckily he grabbed the rebound and hit the three. Anyway, I really hope we wrap up this series by winning the next 2 games so we don't have to go back to Cleveland. That entire city smells like Rosie O'Donnell's farts after she goes on a Taco Bell bender. Go Pacers. AI Carlisle out.
That's AI Rick Carlisle. the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Matt Bear for Trajan Wealth. Hello. We have nice, predictable weather right now in Indiana. It's sunshine. Unfortunately, we can't say the same about the economy. The markets could use a little balance, right? Matt Bear here again for Trajan Wealth. The fiduciary advisors at Trajan are your answer with a solid, balanced financial portfolio that's designed to your personality. Designed to what you want. Call today for your first consultation. It's free. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. You can feel secure with Trajan Wealth. They're Hoosier through and through with hard work, smart money management, and loyalty at their foundation. Call today and learn more about these strategies. That's 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Remember, your first appointment is on them. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, and SEC, registered investment advisor, paid advertisement.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Fewer regulations in Indiana schools. A blank radar this afternoon. You do have some clouds around, though, but not enough to ruin your afternoon. 77 is the expected high. It's 74 now downtown. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. A bill signed into law will help eliminate some regs for Indiana schools. John Herrick reports.
It was written by Republican State Representative Bob Benning of Indianapolis. It reduces Indiana's education code by nearly 10%, and that 10% was full of what he calls outdated and unnecessary text.
Teacher and school administrators need to be able to focus on providing the best education possible for their students. Schools should have the freedom to set their own requirements and be as responsive as they can to their community needs.
And he said this act also empowers schools to control certain training and professional development for both teachers and staff.
An overhaul of air traffic control is coming. Fox's Nate Foy reports.
Today, the FAA is surging resources here to Newark in the form of new telecommunications equipment and additional air traffic controllers based out of Philadelphia who service this airport. But Americans still very much worried about our nation's air traffic control system that runs on technology from the 1970s. And Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy shared a 2024 report from the Government Accountability Office that finds, quote, of the 105 unsustainable and potentially unsustainable systems, 58 have critical operational impacts on the safety and efficiency of the national airspace.
I've just signed a proclamation officially designating tomorrow, May 8th, as a Victory Day for World War II, commemorating the 80th anniversary of America's victory in the Second World War.
President Trump speaks with reporters in the Oval Office, saying that the U.S. will celebrate 80 years since the end of World War II.
The United States has never joined in with the proper celebration of our own, and the victory was mostly accomplished because of us, whether you like it or not.
Europe is also celebrating the end of World War II this week. May 8th is the day that the formal acceptance of Germany's surrender by the Allies was signed. It's called Victory in Europe Day. You've got traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Attention.
If you suffer from consistent pain in your joints caused by arthritis, overuse, or injury, you may be a candidate for a revolutionary therapy that could revitalize damaged tissue. This approach can provide long-lasting relief from pain in your knees, shoulders, hips, and other joints with no surgery, no drugs, and no downtime. To find out if you're a viable candidate, you may request a free consultation from QC Kinetics by calling 463-251-1912. Instead of masking the symptoms, it goes to the root of the problem to resolve it at its source. Already used by thousands of satisfied patients nationwide, this joint pain therapy is available right now to the public, but only for qualified candidates. Again, to find out if you're a viable candidate for this therapy, you may request a free consultation by calling QC Kinetics at 463-251-1912. That's 463-251-1912.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, looking at the northeast side, it's eastbound 465, stop-and-go traffic from Keystone Avenue over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65, that is a 4-minute delay coming in from MLK to Meridian Penn. Eastbound 70, dragging an inch from Harding Street into the south split. And on the south side, eastbound 465 slows from Kentucky Avenue over to Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This may be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Stray shower possible tonight with mostly cloudy skies and lows in the mid-upper 50s. Thursday will track the chance for some scattered showers along and south of Interstate 70 with highs a little bit cooler with numbers in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
I'm sorry, were we talking earlier about Pope smoke?
Pope smoke.
Did we have some smoke coming out of the Pope chimney?
Black smoke.
Black smoke. Okay, so that means the Conclave, this is the first day they got together to vote on a new Pope.
Right.
And so the black smoke means they didn't come to a decision.
Correct.
Two-thirds or whatever it is.
To put this into football terms, the Cardinals are on the clock.
Hey-o.
And they have not made a selection yet.
So when the white smoke comes out, because I just got done watching the movie Conclave, which was nominated for Best Picture. It was, I guess there was some good acting, but it was so boring. And then the ending was like, what the,
right?
What in the world? Like, but so I'm just wondering how it kind of all is working here. So black smoke, no Pope, white smoke, Pope.
Correct.
Okay.
Orange smoke, Trump. That's how it's working. So the smoke has come up from the Sistine Chapel. It's black smoke today, which means I got to go back to the drawing board. Nobody received the proper amount of votes, which means my long shot bet on Pizza Balla.
Oh, it's still on?
Still on, baby. Pizza Balla, Pizza Balla. Yeah, so we will keep an eye on this each day. We'll have a Pope update because, as you know, Nige, Poping ain't easy.
Not.
Do you think you have one of the tougher jobs in America?
Please. A serious question?
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the audience.
Okay.
I know the answer to that question.
One of the easiest, most cush jobs in America.
There was a survey of over 2,000 people on the toughest job in America. Half of the people that were polled were trade workers like plumbers, electricians, etc.
Okay.
So those were the types of jobs I think they had in mind. Coming in at number one was firefighter, the toughest job in America.
Yeah.
Followed by construction worker at number two. Construction worker, man, listen, you're not running into a burning building, but you're out there on the highway. Cars are whizzing by like 65. You got some moron on his phone not paying attention.
Okay, so when you say construction, like a road construction, not like building houses.
Well, either one. I mean, I put that all in the same construction category.
Well, road construction definitely more dangerous.
I mean, if you're building government-funded hotel over here, though, and you're up on some big high-rise, and you're walking some sort of steel beam, 50 stories high, that might be a little butt pucker-ish, if you will. Member of the military coming in at number 3. You're always one phone call away, man. You never know where you're going to go. You could get a call, and the next day you're on a flight to Afghanistan, Iraq, places that are not very safe. Doctor came in at number 4 for toughest jobs in America.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, especially if you're an emergency room doctor, like in Methodist. I think I mentioned I had to spend a few hours in the emergency room like October or November last year. Those Methodist doctors are bad ass, and it wasn't anything with me. It ended up being dehydration and just but the other things I was witnessing all around Methodist on a Saturday night, those guys, holy crap, they've got a hard job, man.
Yes.
The nurses, the doctors, and the the clientele.
Yes. I know what you are talking about.
Man, I can't say enough good things about doctors and nurses and the staff there. So, yes, I'm surprised it's not number 1.
The survey is the toughest job in America. Coming in at number 5, police officer.
Yeah?
I mean, you go back to the, quote, summer of love, when many of your elected officials put a target on the back of police officers that had nothing to do with what happened in Minnesota.
All these things are interchangeable if we're ranking them, but I think cop is up there at number 1.
Paramedic comes in at number 6.
Sure.
Because you're going to a frantic scene, you're pulling up, it's life or death sometimes. You're dealing, same thing with these doctors and nurses, with some people that might be a pain in the ass. Paramedic comes in at 6. And this one's interesting. Astronaut comes in at 7. And we're talking real astronaut, not Katy Perry.
Gail King doesn't
not Gail
factor
King.
in this category.
No. Like those guys that got just left up at the International Space Station by Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Excuse me, would you mind coming to get us? Okay, thanks, Joe. Farmer comes in at number 8.
Yeah.
Up early, hard work. You're not becoming a super millionaire for the most part. Some farmers do, I guess, but that's hard-ass work, man. Number 9, air traffic controller.
Oh, please, yeah. I mean, John Candy's character had to take 5 weeks off because he was so stressed about his job in the movie Summer Rental, if you remember.
That's right.
They made him take 5 weeks off.
When I was in St. Pete like a year or two ago, I did one of those like little dolphin cruises, and they take you out and they show you some of the sights too. I saw the beach where they filmed the iconic scene where John Candy's walking up. He's got the cooler and it's dripping on people and stuff. Yeah, it was filmed in St. Pete.
That's awesome.
The House from Cocoon, also on that same tour.
Oh, incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and again with the air traffic controllers, they've had dozens quit at Newark. Look up Newark International Airport and how bad that airport's been performing and how they've lost contact and communication with several of the pilots over the past couple of days. Yeah, that's a stressful gig.
And coming at number 10, oil worker. So if you've watched Landman or one of these types of shows,
oh man, yeah,
these dudes, they'll see some things from time to time.
I wonder if that accurately captures how difficult and how hard it is to. That's the only reference I have is Landman.
The TV show Dallas and Landman. That's all that I know. And what I remember from Dallas was J.R. Ewing was just drinking in his office all the time.
He was just getting drunk in his office. And it was real, too. Right. That was real booze. Oh, man, Larry Hagman was drinking.
Yep. That wasn't some sort of, like, iced tea in a canister.
No.
Larry Hagman went hard in the paint. Other things that made the top 20, teacher, pilot, home builder, electrician, roofer. I'd almost consider roofer part of construction. I guess it's different, but I kind of put all that together.
I do too. Yeah, the roofers, man. Badasses. Those guys up and down, shingles off the top of the roof in a day. The next day, they're back up at it. It's those guys, they make a lot of money too, man.
My buddy Steve is a roofer in Massachusetts. Because I always think, man, how awful would it be? You're up there on that roof, it's 110, and he'll be the first one to tell me, I would rather have that than be up there when it's -5. And you know you're going to be up there all day, sunlight's at a premium, and you got some masshole yelling at you all day. You done yet? You said you'd be done.
The thing about those roofers I don't understand, in the middle of the summer, like in July, August, those guys get up there in full long sleeve shirts, jeans, work boots, hats, sometimes, masks around the face. And I guess it's all just protecting them from the sun.
Right.
But you've just got to keep yourself hydrated.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I've been dehydrated before. I had to go to the emergency room. These guys do it for a living.
You did it because you were drinking heavily. They were working their butts off on your roof. All right, let's give away some tickets here. This is a new contest we've got. Caller number 9. We've got tickets to go see Rob Thomas, longtime Matchbox 20 frontman, has a great solo career in his own right. I think he won a Grammy. Rob Thomas with special guest A Great Big World, Friday, August 22nd at the Everwise Amphitheater. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. We have a fun little game, but you got to be caller number 9, 239-9393. 239-9393. A fun little game for Rob Thomas tickets coming up next. This is the Hammer and Nigel Show.
You know about Indy Decorative Concrete already, the best local custom concrete outfit in the business. They've been around since 2007. Their owners, Mark and Jamie, not only do they run a great custom concrete business, but they're great people. In fact, when we were thinking about getting a new front porch and sidewalk, Mark came out to my house, gave us a few design ideas, and then we went to their showroom, and Jamie helped us pick out the stamp pattern we liked best. It was an easy process, and once they got started, they were done in 3 days with our, just completely blown away with our custom stamped concrete area and patio with more space and an absolutely awesome, unique look. You need to check out. So whether it's a new patio, sidewalk, porch, don't do anything until you've checked out IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. And they don't use subs either. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use? Now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Attention, Indiana homeowners. Are you tired of avoiding your wet basement? Hi, I'm Mike Smith with Swanco Crawl Space and Basement Repair, your real, local, Indiana family-owned experts. Imagine all the possibilities of a guaranteed dry basement, a cozy new family room, a home gym, or even a new office. And with no interest, no payment financing, you don't have to break the bank to do it. Make the most of your basement today. Call Swanco 317-407-1868 or swancollc.com.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Hellsberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you.
Join our B&W Premier Club for additional benefits and exclusive discounts.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, B+W.com, your American Standard air dealer.
The Attorney General's Unclaimed Property Division has over $800 million just waiting to be claimed. Text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 or visit indianaunclaimed.gov to claim yours today.
This May, be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV.
Join WIBC this Saturday 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show live from Sullivan Hardware and Garden at 71st and Keystone. Pat, Denny, Terry, and Allison will help you pick out the gift for your mom. That's this Saturday at Sullivan Hardware and Garden, 71st and Keystone.
All right, we're going to give away some Rob Thomas tickets here in just a moment. But first, Matt Baer, what's going on?
All right, Hammer, it's me. We're starting to bump, looking at southbound 65, crash before MLK, and this is blocking the left lane, stopping traffic past the White River. After that, southbound 65 hit the brakes again around 29th Street down to Meridian Pad. And more southbound 65, this one downtown. It is a crash at Washington Street, blocking the left lane. That causes a slowdown back to the north split. Eastbound as 70, stop and go traffic from Harding into the south split. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from Man Road over to I-69. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This May, you can be a hero at the finish line. Say yes to organ donation and talk to your family about your decision. A message from Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And Jason happened to be caller number 9. Jason, welcome to the Hammer and Nigel show. How are you?
Yo.
Good. How are you guys doing?
Good. All right, Jason, we've got some tickets here for Rob Thomas coming in concert. We want to give these to you, but you got to earn them, okay? So we're going to play a little game. It's called Rob Thomas or Rob Kendall. And this is how it's going to work. I'm going to read a quote. It will either be a quote from iconic frontman Rob Thomas or WIBC's Rob Kendall. You get 2 out of 3. I'm going to give you the tickets, okay?
All right.
Here we go. Number 1. And it's just like the ocean under the moon, and it's the same as the emotion that I get from you. Rob Thomas or Rob Kendall?
That would happen to be Rob Thomas.
That would happen to be Rob Thomas. All right. Get this one right, and we are going to give you the tickets. I'm not paying for this.
That's definitely Rob Kendall.
There it is. There we go. Woo!
What gave it away?
Rob's, he's one of those cheap bastards.
Yes, he is, Jason. Yes, he is.
I don't know him personally, but I've heard a lot about him.
You only know that he's a cheap bastard by what you hear from his mouth on the air. It's not us calling him cheap.
We know personally, but everybody else doesn't. Jason, you got a couple tickets. Rob Thomas, A Great Big World, Friday night, August 22nd, Everwise Amphitheater downtown. Hang on the line. Producer Allison's going to take care of you, okay?
All right. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
You got it. Miss Allison, can we get a little mood music, please?
Well, it's that time of year.
That time of year? Graduation, a lot of big universities have already had their graduations. Michigan up in Ann Arbor, theirs was this past weekend. And they brought in Derek Jeter, Yankees legend, baseball Hall of Famer, to deliver the message. And man, I thought this was a pretty cool life lesson.
Failure is essential. If I can promise you one thing for certain, you will fail. The bigger the dream, the bigger the risk. But what's the price if you don't take the risk? If you don't commit to the dream? You might end up overmatched, but maybe you won't. I failed publicly. I failed miserably. There were days I literally cried because I was so bad. My first season as a professional, I made 56 errors. And for the non-baseball fans, that's hard to do intentionally. and that's also not funny.
So that was Derek Jeter up at Michigan. And it got me thinking, has there ever been a greater graduation speech? And there have been some great ones. I liked Billy Madison's. I liked Zach and Slater from Saved by the Bell. But pound for pound, I think the mother of all graduation speeches came from Thornton Mellon in the movie Back to School.
I have only one thing to say to you today. It's a jungle out there. You got to look out for number one, but don't step at number two.
Love Back to School. Thornton Mellon.
Yeah.
It's the Hammer and Nigel show.
Well, look, if you're going to be filing for Social Security the next 5 years, the amount of lifetime income you could get from Social Security could vary by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And we, the Hammer and Nigel show, definitely want to make sure you get every penny that's rightfully yours. That's where our buddy Bill Demery comes in. Bill Demery, your retirement guy, has got a free Social Security analysis for you.
Schedule your free analysis with Bill Demery. Bill is my retirement guy, Nigel's retirement guy, and he wants to be your retirement guy. So schedule that free analysis right now. What do you have to lose? 317-648-5120. That's 317-648-5120. This analysis could help you get hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income. Call right now. Schedule it. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Stylin'. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Denny Smith for Sundown Gardens, where the annual hanging basket sale is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's right. It's 20% off hanging baskets this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Sundown Gardens, plus 30% off chocolates. Now, you know your mom loves flowers and chocolate. And the nursery's full of high-quality trees and shrubs. The greenhouse is overflowing with annuals, perennials, and more. Don't forget, the hanging basket sale this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, sundown.gardens.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC. WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
This is a Fox News alert. No Pope today. I'm Lisa Brady. No Cardinal got enough support in the first vote of the Conclave.
As darkness fell over the Vatican City, black smoke started to rise from the Sistine Chapel's chimney. That told the world the Conclave of Cardinals had voted, but hadn't managed to agree on a pope. A candidate needs 2/3 of the 133 electors to vote for them in order to win. We don't even know who did get votes or how many. Such is the secrecy of the conclave. Thousands streaming home from St. Peter's Square after a 3+ hour vigil. They'll be back tomorrow.
Fox's Jonathan Savage in Rome. Beginning tomorrow, the conclave can vote up to 4 times per day. 3 former Memphis police officers charged in the beating death of Tyree Nichols after a traffic stop have just been acquitted of all state counts, including second-degree murder. The verdict coming on the jury's second day of deliberations. 2 other now former officers have agreed to plead guilty to state charges, and 1 testified at the state trial of the others. But all 5 face time in prison, including those acquitted today, after being convicted on federal charges last year. The Fed says risks to inflation and employment have both risen as new policies, including tariffs, are implemented. And they're in no rush for rate cuts.
I don't think we can say, which way this will shake out. I think there's a great deal of uncertainty about, for example, where tariff policies are going to settle out. And also, when they do settle out, what will be the implications for the economy, for growth, and for employment? I think it's too early to know that.
Fed Chair Jerome Powell says they'll be patient and watch the data, leaving a key interest rate unchanged today. The president has publicly pushed for a rate cut. The White House economic advisor says they don't believe inflation is coming back. The Dow up 284 points at the bell. America is listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
IU alums push back with a lawsuit. Some clouds now on Monument Circle. Radar is clear. The forecast originally said dry, but now you've got a chance for rain both tonight and tomorrow. Right now it's 74 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 4:02.
What has occurred here is a clear violation of the Indiana Constitution's prohibition against special legislation.
ACLU of Indiana legal director Ken Falk. They've sued Governor Braun and want the portion of the law that gives the governor power over selecting trustees for Indiana University repealed.
Until the bill was signed, all 5 public universities had a method for alumni to be involved in the selection of members of the Board of Trustees, and that now has been removed, but only as to IU.
Falk says that's the definition of special legislation. Another lawsuit, this one over overtime pay that 60 former or current Brownsburg firefighters say they were bilked out of. They claim the town adopted their own policy for overtime, which they say violates the Fair Labor Standards Act. Murder in a downtown hotel in Terre Haute, and now authorities believe the man accused of shooting his co-worker is in the country illegally. 30-year-old Wilson Chavez of Dallas is charged with murdering Jamie Muniz Monday night in the room they were sharing at the Candlewood Suites. Chavez denies that charge, and the two were working for a contractor, say police. Tax cuts only work if the government cuts spending, says President Trump's senior economic advisor. Ryan Hedrick explains the message from Tuesday's Indiana dinner.
Stephen Moore delivered the message to Republicans in Noblesville at the Lincoln Day dinner, saying an economic boon will happen
when we have the tax bill done and when we get these trade deals done.
The president says once Congress passes his one big beautiful bill, you'll see inflation come all the way down and America will enter its golden age.
Traffic and weather in 1 minute.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's Home Improvement Season Sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, we're looking at southbound 65 on the approach to downtown, and it's a mess right now. First, we have a crash coming up to MLK, the southbound 65 at the White River. It's blocking the left lane, stopping traffic back to 38th Street, Kessler Boulevard. That's a 7-minute delay. And then we get going again, and then we slow down again, this time from 29th to 21st, and that is because of a crash at West Street. And it's covering the right shoulder right now, causing that 6-minute delay back to 29th Street. Only the right shoulder is blocked. No lanes taken at the moment. That could change. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic. Holt Road to the south split, a 7-minute delay. Crash on the east side, 34th Street at Arlington, Massachusetts. And that's reported as a motorcycle crash with injury. South side, eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from Man Road over to Harding Street. And inbound 69, slow roll from 96th Street down to 82nd. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Stray shower possible tonight with mostly cloudy skies and lows in the mid-upper 50s. Thursday will track the chance for some scattered showers along and south of Interstate 70 with highs a little bit cooler with numbers in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos? So let's rock it!
Hammer, I'll let you do the honors here. The Indy FOP, Fraternal Order of Police, has issued a letter to Governor Braun calling for any form of clemency to be denied for the convicted killer of the Beech Grove police officer.
William Toney lost his life September 29th, 2000, when Benjamin Ritchie, who fled from a vehicle, went through a neighborhood, a residential neighborhood in Beech Grove, ambushed Officer Toney, waited for him to get close, and then fired 5 shots, hitting above the bulletproof vest, taking his life. This is the statement from the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 86, and their president, Rick Snyder. Quote, "Dear Governor Braun, due process has occurred, and justice must be carried out. Beech Grove police officer William Toney faithfully fulfilled his oath to protect his community, and we call upon you to preserve the law and uphold your responsibilities to ensure full accountability for such violence directed at Officer Toney. When one falls, we all must stand, and we call upon you to stand for this fallen officer. Rick Snyder, President, Indianapolis Lodge 86.
Yeah, I'd be stunned if Governor Braun, the way we've known him since he was running for senator years ago, I would be absolutely dumbfounded if he granted any form of clemency for this cop killer. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's something we need to worry about.
I'd love to ask the governor about it. I would love to have his monthly visit to this program be before the date of May 20th. That's the execution date of Benjamin Ritchie. I would love to have him in here. I've reached out to his team. You know, it's his timeline. It's not ours. You know, he's got a lot of serious stuff going on. So hopefully we'll get him in here. But let's also give a hat tip to the Attorney General, Todd Rokita, and his office. They've been working diligently to make sure that justice is upheld as well. And coming up on Monday, May 12th, there is a clemency hearing taking place at 302 West Washington Street here in Indy. Now, in the morning session, it's going to be the attorneys for Benjamin Ritchie and the folks speaking on his behalf begging for his life to be saved. But in the afternoon from 1 until 3, it's the family that was left behind of Officer Tony.
Okay, good. They get to have a statement.
Correct. Dee Dee, his widow, his wife, Bill Tony's wife at the time, she'll be speaking. Officer Tony's mom, his sister, his brother, and his daughters all will be speaking, demanding that justice takes place and Ben Ritchie is executed. So if you want to attend that, it's open to the public. I would love to be there. The time frame kind of contradicts with what we do here at the radio station during that time. I'll try to make it by, but it's from 1 to 3 on Monday, 302 West Washington Street on the first floor. If you want to go, enter through the east public entrance across from Senate by the State House. I'll put that information online a little bit later on, but man, if there's a family that deserves your support, it's the Tony family there.
And I think, generally speaking, the policy here, at least in this state, should be you kill a cop, you are going to pay the ultimate price.
Unless you trick people into thinking you've got some sort of mental disability like Elias Dorsey did.
Oh, that's right. God, I hate it when you bring that up because I forget about that every time. Yeah, fooled everybody on that one.
Yep.
And
Dorsey, the killer of Officer Breanne Leith.
And Breanne's family was not happy with that in the least.
And they shouldn't have been.
I think they wanted to see some more severe form of punishment and justice, and that's not what he got.
Keeping it in the justice category here, the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, and the FBI Director, Kash Patel, announced earlier today they had a big sting for child sex predators. Ugh. They arrested 205 alleged child sex predators. Here is the FBI Director, Kash Patel.
Our children. If you harm our children, you will be given no sanctuary. There is no place we will not come to hunt you down. There is no place we will not look for you. And there is no cage we will not put you in should you do harm to our children. The prioritization of this administration and General Bondi has made it abundantly clear to child predators, you will be hunted down and you will be prosecuted. And that is a refreshing thing to hear for the men and women who do this work tirelessly. And it's also an acknowledgement of the safety that we look forward to bringing America.
Okay, I'm happy about this. I'm not going to complain that there are 200 plus child sex predators in a jail cell right now. But I think you all know what the next question is going to be. If you're really passionate about protecting children and going after sex predators, there's this little thing called the Epstein list that we were promised you guys were going to be working on. And maybe this is more of an Attorney General Pam Bondi thing than it is Kash Patel, but they both of them talked about putting that list out there and going after those perpetrators. Because as of right now, Ghislaine Maxwell, the love interest, whatever you want to call her, of Jeffrey Epstein, the one that learned to fly the plane,
the helicopter,
bringing the little girls to the island.
She was procuring the talent and bringing them to the island for Epstein.
To who?
She was befriending him. She was befriending the girls,
right?
Acting like their motherly figure, big sister. But yes, that's the exact question. Who was she providing them to besides Epstein?
If she's in jail for basically trafficking women, who was she trafficking to? It's more than just Jeffrey, I promise you. Release that list. And both of these folks promised that they would. And man, I don't know if you're ever going to get that information. Nigel, there's a new report out on AI in fast food drive-thrus. Now, in your neighborhood, do you guys have the AI drive-thrus? Because the Taco Bell in my neighborhood is all AI at this point.
I have. My son recently discovered the chalupa from Taco Bell, so I downloaded the app.
Okay.
And so, yes, I have experience with the AI app, and I'm able to I guess, go up and talk to them and talk. But yeah, I haven't had a problem with it. Have you?
No. The only time you ever get an issue with it is if you got somebody that's got a really complicated order.
Well,
they want a chalupa minus this plus that. That's my youngest son, Jacob. He's the one that's got the complicated order, and it just like short circuits the AI. Now, the reason I bring this up, a new survey says that 22% of the time, fast food joints that have all AI drive-through order taking technology need to have a human correct the mistake.
I haven't had much experience with that. Even the Taco Bell drive-through that I go to there in Whitestown has somebody there.
Right.
Like, if you didn't order through the app, they do have somebody there to take your order. You got to have somebody there, right?
I thought that number would be higher. Like, that's a pretty good number for AI. If only 22% of the time they've got to have an actual employee come on and go, what the hell is it you want?
What are you saying? No beef? What?
Sir, this is Wendy's. Get the hell out of here. You don't get that attitude with AI, but only 22% of the time does somebody have to jump in. Hey, as we go to Matt Bear, Matt, I'm looking at a thing that I follow on social media. It's called Indianapolis Watch, right? It's one of these watch neighborhoods, and they post updates about Indy. Are you familiar with it, Matt?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
Indianapolis Watch. This was 8 minutes ago. East Southport Road and US 31 southbound. Male riding his bicycle in the roadway with a tinfoil hat on his head.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah, that's
why? What's wrong with that?
And I didn't think Tony Katz left his house. That's wild.
He had that surgery.
He'd be out at Southport Road. That doesn't make sense to me, Matt.
What is Tony doing out of Carmel right now? That's
right.
his thing, you know. Looking at southbound 65. This is a crash before MLK, and it's blocking the left lane, stopping traffic back to 38th Street, Kessler Boulevard. That's a 7-minute delay. And then we have another one. It's southbound 65 at West Street, and that's on the right shoulder right now, causing stop-and-go traffic back to 21st. Eastbound 70 loaded up Holt Road into the South Split for an 8-minute delay. Also a crash on the northeast side, 34th Street at Arlington Avenue, Massachusetts Avenue. That's a motorcycle crash. And then on the south side, eastbound 465, a pocket of slow here from Kentucky Avenue past Harding Street. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
David on the YouTube chat, you know it's AI at the drive-thru because they speak clearly and they're polite.
True. I didn't think about it like that.
That's like the complaints we get about AI Joe Biden when we create that. It's way too coherent. I'm sorry, but AI Joe Biden makes way too much sense. We need 54 people to go over to the WIBC YouTube page right now. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a like. If you're ready for that weasel Ben Ritchie to get the needle from the state of Indiana, give us a like. If you want to see Allison twerking on camera, okay, I'm being told that will not happen.
No?
Maybe I'll get AI Allison to twerk. I don't know. Maybe we can make that happen. Give us a thumbs up. Help us get to 100 likes. It's the YouTube page of WIBC, the live cameras, the live chat, all the chaos. Jump in the mix right now. Is this anything? Next.
Galaxy Concrete Coatings, they are the best in the business when it comes to concrete coatings, whether it's your garage, your basement floor, your pool deck, I'm talking any indoor, outdoor area concrete. My Galaxy Concrete garage floor is definitely out of this world. In fact, I love the job they did on my garage floor. I had them come back and do a coating on my basement utility room floor. It's not epoxy either. It's better and 4 times stronger. Lifetime warranty, Galaxy Concrete Coatings. Get a quote, see some pictures, galaxyconcretecoatings.com, or give them a call, 751-9070.
Greetings, Boomtown. Ever since this neighborhood switched to Xfinity Internet,
The Wi-Fi is booming!
Xfinity combines the power of internet and mobile with one all-in plan.
So we've all got lightning-fast, secure Wi-Fi speeds at home and on the go with Wi-Fi Power Boost from Xfinity Mobile.
You get the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best in-class equipment and unlimited data included. Plus, add an unlimited mobile line.
All for only $40 a month for 1 year. To celebrate this combo, we're mashing our shows together.
It's everything you need all in one plan. Plus, learn how to get a free 5G phone with a premium unlimited line. Now, sit back and relax with the smooth, relaxing sound
of face-melting acid metal!
Brilliant.
Visit Xfinity.com to learn more. Ends June 23rd with paperless billing and autopay stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet gateway required. Taxes, fees extra. After 1 year rate increases to $110 a month. After 2 years regular rates apply. Actual Wi-Fi speeds vary. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report August 2024.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Hellsberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed Sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for your trusted local independent America's Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Reinhardt Heating and Cooling. Owner Danny Reinhardt's daughter Kim says her dad has a daily influence on the way customers are treated.
Dad's built a great business, and it's an honor to be able to keep carrying it on, and his work ethic and the way he treats customers, and that's something that I want to carry on and treat people the same way.
You can call on Reinhardt Heating and Cooling at 317-745-4526. Reinhardt is your trusted local independent America's Standard dealer.
For the biggest selection of Mother's Day gifts, shop Cynthia's Hallmark at 116th and Allisonville Road, 116th and Brook School Road, 96th and Lantern Road in Fishers, and in Greenfield.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit IndianaUnclaimed.gov or text Hammer and Nigel to 46220 today.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel presents
It depends upon what the meaning of the word is.
Is this anything?
All right, let's rock and roll.
Brought to you by Indiana Unclaimed, a program presented by the Attorney General's office here in Indiana. The Attorney General's office reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. $1 million in unclaimed property every single week. Fast, free, easy. You just got to search. You just got to put in your name. Go to indianaunclaimed.gov to see if you got any money waiting for you out there.
Is this anything? Kanye West stormed out of an interview with Piers Morgan. This was live on the air. Stormed out after a few minutes. We've kind of edited down the awkward conversation. this was a lot going on here. It's a little bit longer of a clip than we normally play.
Yeah, there was some streamer, too, that was with him named Sneeko. Whatever that means.
Take a listen here because there is a lot going on.
Both Sneeko and Ye join me now. Well, welcome. Ye, we haven't spoken for a while. How are you?
I'm doing good. I don't use the term West, you know, the whole drop the slave name idea.
Okay, so we just call you Ye, yeah?
Yes, sir.
How would you say your life is at the moment?
I mean, you see that view.
Yeah. You seem very relaxed and happy. That is in direct contrast to your public image at the moment.
I already disagree. It's not in contrast. There's so many people and artists that are championing the idea of someone being able to just express who they really are and have been able to go through the war of being attacked by the banks. I'm in contrast to your contrast.
I watch what you put out on X. You've got 32 million followers, so you're one of the most followed people.
See, wait. Now look, right now, you're not going to take inches off my bro. Like, how many followers do I have?
I'm told it's 33 million now, so congratulations.
You know, I'm a gift, bro. Why do all you people in media act like you haven't played my songs at your weddings or graduations or at funerals or when your child was born? You know, you take somebody that's living like a Lennon, a Michael Jackson, and you just, like that nuance right there. It's
I played
idiotic.
Gold Digger when
it just
Connor
shows
was
the
born.
hate that you put out for people that put love. There's so much love in the art that I put out.
What are you talking about?
Okay, now you're not taking accountability or responsibility.
Literally, you said it. You implied I haven't played your music. Of course I played your music.
Anita, this is what you get for now. We can circle back when you can count.
Where's he gone, Sneeko?
That's it for Ye. But it's nice to meet you, Piers. We have to admit this is somewhat entertaining. You know, this is going to be laughed at by many people.
What's entertaining?
That was funny. That's undeniably walking off right into the beginning of an interview is funny.
Yeah, and again, have you heard of a streamer called Sneeko? That was Kanye's buddy.
If you're asking me if I've heard of a streamer, my answer is no.
I don't have to use the name.
Right.
This is nothing. I don't know what Piers Morgan... I mean, I guess, okay, we're talking about it. It's getting some play. I've seen the clips. Who wants to have Kanye West on? He's turned into a maniac with anti-Semitism and some just crazy, outrageous conspiracy theories, and I just
is he doing it on purpose?
Get it? Yeah. Well, I think he's doing it on purpose, but it's with a mental edge to it, if that makes sense.
Sure.
I believe there's a mental component to it. Yes, he's doing it on purpose, but mentally speaking, whatever. Where can I catch Piers Morgan's show, by the way? Because he has some interesting guests on. Is that only something that you could catch in the UK now?
I'm sure you can stream it or subscribe somewhere.
Why don't we should have asked the streamer Sneeko that was with Kanye West.
You can ask Stinko or Stevo or whatever the hell his name is. Let's keep it in the cranky musicians category here.
Okay, all right.
Roger Daltrey.
Yeah.
81 years old, been a rock star since the 60s.
Yeah, The Who.
He's one of those guys that sometimes doesn't play the hits at the show. So some chick was heckling him at a recent show, wanted him to play a Who classic in an acoustic set, and old red-ass Roger Daltrey didn't want any part of it.
He know where it is. What? I'm fed up with that. Thank you for the day. No! It's not good as Pinball Wizard. Shut the
It's not good as Pinball
Wizard. I'm the world's worst pinball player you've ever seen in your life. Just do it. I want to do it. Because I just don't want to do it. I was singing. We want you. Open your ears and listen to this.
Yeah, no, I do not put Roger Daltrey in the same category as Kanye West in terms of the validity of these clips and who's right and who's wrong. Daltrey is 81 years old and doing an acoustic set. Pinball Wizard is not part of that. He doesn't do that. Pinball Wizard, that deaf, dumb, and blind kid sure plays a mean pinball. she kept on yelling for him to play that. The guy's 81. He's doing an acoustic set. He's not going. That's not part of his set list.
But he's never really been a warm and fuzzy guy.
No, I disagree. Roger Daltrey, I think, first of all, it's still a killer voice at 81 years old. As far as being a warm and fuzzy guy, I don't want some lady at a quiet acoustic show piping up and yelling out songs. You'll hear the songs that I'll play. Pinball Wizard obviously isn't part of the repertoire. I don't know. Did I say it right? Repertoire?
No, but go ahead. I'm just letting you cook. Go ahead.
Come on, man. If that song doesn't work out in an acoustic format, let it go. He's not playing it. And shut your mouth. These people are paid big money to see a rock and roll icon sing acoustic songs.
What I'm hearing from you is that you want to do a round of great moments in Cranky musicians' history.
Oh, please. I didn't know there was such a thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, here to talk about what it's like when you get put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, here's Steve Miller.
When they told me I was inducted, they said you can have 2 tickets, one for your wife and one for yourself.
2 tickets.
Want another one? It's $10,000. Sorry, that's the way it goes. They make this so unpleasant. We're not going to wrap this one up. I'm going to wrap you up.
Great moments in Cranky musicians' history. This one's a little different. This one's a little awkward because musicians in air quotes. Billy Bob Thornton. Phenomenal actor. I love all of his shows because he basically plays himself in everything he's in.
Yeah,
he's also got a band, but he's one of these dudes where if he's doing an interview with the band, if you ask anything at all about TV or movies, he gets a little salty.
Given that you seem to be quite passionate about music, I was wondering about your...
Would you say that to Tom Petty?
Would I say that he's passionate about music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
You're not Tom.
Would you explain why it's not a hobby?
Would I explain why it's not a hobby? Are you reacting to the fact that I said...
Yeah, I am. Since you're instructed not to talk about shit like that, yeah, I am reacting to that, yeah.
I wasn't instructed to. I'm not really instructed. You guys are here as a band. You're performing, but
the producer was instructed.
Right, but
somewhere along the way.
Because I mentioned that you were an actor and a screenwriter.
Well, first of all, that wasn't supposed to be mentioned either.
Come on. He was just trying to give context to the audience as to who this person was he was talking to.
Right. Somebody probably turned on the radio. That sounds like Bad Santa. That really does sound like Bad Santa.
Yeah.
Great moments in Cranky musicians' history.
So if you're going to be filing for Social Security in the next 5 years, the amount of lifetime income you could get could vary by hundreds of thousands of dollars. Those are huge numbers, and it all boils down to not only timing, but we're also talking about taxes, spousal benefits, IRAs, 401k withdrawals, and much more. And you need to ensure you get every penny that's rightfully yours with a free Social Security analysis from Mr. Bill Demery.
So if you've saved more than $200,000, but you have not yet filed for Social Security, you got to call our guy, Bill Demery. He'll break things down for you in a way you can understand, and he'll give you a free analysis, but you just got to schedule it. That's all. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. Free analysis from Bill Demery. 317-648-5120.
Spring showers might bring flowers, but they can also bring roof leaks. Strong winds, heavy rain can expose hidden damage, leading to costly water issues inside your home. And the longer you wait, the worse it gets. Water can seep into your attic, walls, and insulation, causing mold, rot, and expensive structural damage. The good news? Moss Roofing. They offer free inspections. Whether it's a small leak or a big roofing concern, their expert team will assess the damage and provide reliable, cost-effective solutions. With over 35 years of experience, Moss Roofing knows how to protect your home from the unpredictable spring weather. Don't wait for a minor drip to turn into a major repair. For top-notch roofing services, trust Moss Roofing to keep you dry this spring. For a job done right every single time, visit mossroofing.com. Call 317-747-3665. 317-747-3665 or go online to Moss Roofing. MOSS, mossroofing.com. Tell them Tony Katz sent you.
This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The governor and lawmakers accused of being sneaky. Nothing on radar this afternoon. You do have the possibility of rain tonight and tomorrow, though. 75 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending. A lawsuit by the ACLU of Indiana over the new selection process for IU trustees. ACLU of Indiana Legal Director Ken Falk tells WIBC News alums have had a say in the process for decades.
This was inserted into the budget bill at the very last minute. There was no hearing on it. It wasn't mentioned during the budget process. And, towards the end of a multi-hundred-page bill.
The ACLU and some alums want to see that portion of the law repealed. In Daleville, Brady Smith, the 27-year-old teacher and basketball coach at Daleville High, accused of committing sex acts on a student, has been fired from his job. Court documents say Smith went as far as professing his love for the girl to her mom at church. 4 Hoosiers arrested in a multi-state child sex sting announced by Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel. They include a man from Evansville, another from New Albany, 35-year-old Eric Lee Dicken of Columbus, and 45-year-old Bo Thornburg of Lebanon, already a convicted sex offender. President Trump is not pulling back on tariffs on China. The trade talks are set for this weekend. Fox's Jared Halpern.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is meeting with China's top economic officials Saturday in Switzerland, but President Trump says he's not sure what may come out of the discussions.
We were losing $1 trillion a year. Now we're not losing anything. That's the way I look at it.
In the meantime, the president says he is not open to pulling back the 145% tariff rate on Chinese imports and says he's not considering a lot of tariff exemptions.
I want to make it nice and simple. I'm not looking to have so many exemptions that nobody knows what it's doing. We have to make it very simple.
Additional tariffs on pharmaceuticals are expected this month. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Traffic and weather in 1 minute.
There sure are a lot of memories in that house. It's where you celebrated years of anniversaries and birthdays, where you watched the kids grow, where you relaxed in your retirement. You love it right down to the scuff on the dining room floor and that sticky window in the bedroom. But now the stairs are getting harder, the lawn, the cleaning, the repairs, it's just too much to keep up. And it's probably time to downsize. But the thought of getting the house ready to sell is overwhelming. It's time to learn about Simple Quarters. They'll buy your house as is. No repairs, no worries. They handle everything. You take what you want, you leave the rest. They're a Christian company, so they understand the emotional ties, and they'll be respectful of your memories and feelings as they help you simplify your life. If you're considering downsizing and want a hassle-free way to sell your home, call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. That's 317-900-HOME, or go to simplequarters.com.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, approaching downtown. The left lane just kicked open on southbound 65 before MLK. We're still jammed up to 38th Street, Kessler Boulevard for a 6-minute delay. And all lanes now open should help. Crash on the east side, 34th Street and Arlington Avenue, Massachusetts Avenue. That's a motorcycle crash. Somebody's hurt. North side, eastbound 465. Stop go from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 69 slow after 106th Street, 282nd. Northbound 465 slow on the east side from 70 up to Penn Pike. Southbound lane slow after Penn Pike down to Brookville Road. Eastbound 70 stop and go traffic from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split, a 14-minute delay. Inbound 65 stop and go traffic from 21st Street to Meridian Penn, and on the south side, southbound 465 stop and go before 70 over to Harding, and eastbound lane slow from 31 to Emerson Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This May, you can be a hero at the finish line. Say yes to organ donation and talk to your family about your decision. A message from Indiana Donor Network and driven to save lives. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Stray shower possible tonight with mostly cloudy skies and lows in the mid-upper 50s. Thursday will track the chance for some scattered showers along and south of Interstate 70 with highs a little bit cooler with numbers in the upper 60s and low 70s. Mush TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
You're listening to the Hammer and Nigel Show.
So weird going down to St. Pete for spring break and calling it the Gulf of America.
Hell yeah, it is.
I've called it the Gulf of Mexico ever since I've been going down there as a toddler. My great-grandma lived in Largo. We'd go to see her, and I'd always call it the ocean, but constantly be reminded it's not the ocean, it's the Gulf of Mexico. But now Donald Trump has changed all that.
See, I had a teacher that was an English teacher in middle school that really wanted us to enunciate the U. Gulf. Gulf.
Gulf?
Gulf.
How the hell do you do that?
G-U-L-F, which is how it's spelled.
Gulf.
It's not like putt-putt golf.
Yeah, golf. Gulf.
Gulf of America. Gulf.
So it's funny to see even on Google Maps and things like that, Gulf of America. I think I just did it. I just called it Gulf of America. So, but Trump, the reason why I bring this up, Hammer, is because apparently Donald Trump is teasing a new name for the Persian Gulf. Is this correct?
Take it for what you will from the Associated Press, but two unnamed U.S. officials have said that Donald Trump is planning to officially rename it the Persian Gulf will no longer be called that. It will be the Arabian Gulf. Arabian Gulf.
I mean, it's an extension of the Arabian Sea. It's
like I'm all for renaming things. Don't get me wrong, but can we fix some other things along the way here? Like, how many people were really upset that this was called the Persian Gulf in this country? Now, maybe overseas, because I know like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, the UAE, they've sought to remove Persia from the title for a long time. But again, America first here. Let's focus on us. We'll rename the Persian Gulf, the Arabian Gulf a little bit later on. How about we do that? But sounds like that might be a thing.
Okay.
Is that the big announcement he was teasing before his overseas trip? Is that it?
It's a little underwhelming if it is.
Because yesterday, the old man's like, got a big announcement. Can't tell you what it is. You're going to love it. And we're thinking, oh, great, a peace deal. You know, something's going to go on, you know.
Sure.
But if it's the Arabian
hostages
Gulf.
Or,
right.
You know, a ceasefire or something like that. But sometimes called the Arabian Gulf. Now is what we are talking about.
Speaking of underwhelming, you were telling me that Alec Baldwin movie, Rust, the controversial movie where the shot was fired that killed the filmmaker, Helena Hutchins, and Alec Baldwin fired the shot, though he denies doing that. A big trial took place, and he basically was able to skate because of it.
Whoever the armsman who was on set got some jail time. I don't think protocols were followed. Pulled the trigger. There was a bullet, something in that gun, and it killed the cinematographer, injured the director. So Rust. So they kept making the movie though after everything was said and done, and Alec Baldwin refused to apologize but pay off the family and went through some court proceedings. Those all got dropped, and now he is playing a victim on a reality show that my wife watches. Rust got released into theaters over the weekend. 39 screens across America, brought in just $29,000.
So it was limited release, but by limited release standards,
very limited. Like
nobody wanted to see this thing.
Good Lord! Now, I guess in its defense, it was released on video on demand as well. I don't know what the numbers were on that. I couldn't imagine anybody paying to watch that. Going to the movie theater to watch it, much less paying for it on demand.
Right. And we've talked about this. Like, if you're the family of Helena Hutchins, like, what direction do you take? Do you want to say, you know what? I don't want that movie ever to go out. It reminds me of the worst day of our lives. Our family changed forever. Or do you want her to say she was doing what she loved? She believed in this project. Had she stuck around, maybe the movie would have been a success. Go ahead and release it.
I think the reviews that I've read are horrible in terms of what the movie is about and the directing, but they said the cinematography is amazing. And that's all Helena Hutchinson, the woman that perished on the set of that film. So, yeah, maybe I would, in a roundabout way, want that movie to be released just to see the work of the cinematography that was performed on that movie. But Alec Baldwin has never... I mean, you should see him in this reality show that my wife watches.
What, you mean Baldwin might be an a-hole?
I'm not even saying he comes across as an a-hole. I'm just saying he's never apologized, and he almost plays a victim.
Well, sure he does, because he's one of the great D-bags of all time.
Yeah.
Alec Baldwin has always been this dude, whether he's yelling at his daughter on that phone call, picking fights with people over cabs in New York.
Calling, homophobic slurs to paparazzi.
Right. That's who that guy is. He's always been a D-bag.
I mean, not even $30K
That's rough.
For a movie.
That's pretty rough.
Good.
We've got some tickets to give away to Qualifications. Qualifications out at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the Indianapolis 500. We got a fun little game we're going to play. It's a new game, but you've got to be caller number 9 right now. 239-9393. That's 239-9393. A fun little game for qualification tickets. That is coming up next.
IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Bottom line is they are the best custom concrete in the business. They all 5-star Google reviews, whether it's a new patio or sidewalk or porch. Please don't do anything until you've checked out IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. My sidewalk and front porch were falling apart. They needed completely replaced, and I was just going to go with a basic, regular, generic concrete that looked the same as before. But my wife was like, no. She showed me Indy Decorative Concrete, what they could do in their website. I was blown away at what they could do in terms of taking a basic sidewalk and porch and turning it into a custom stamped concrete area with even more space than I originally had, and an awesome, unique look. They're local. They've been around since 2007, and most importantly, their employees have been with them forever. They're all W-2 employees. They don't use subs. IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. That's IndyDecorativeConcrete.com. Tell them Nigel sent you.
Are you worried about your taxes? Okay, so I'm talking to those of you out there that have not filed in a few years with the IRS or state. It's time to get worried, and here's why. The IRS is getting back from their own COVID lockdown, and they're hiring more enforcers, and they're going to come after people that owe taxes. So if you're a 1099 worker, and maybe you just plain forgot to file your taxes, you need to call the professionals right now at the Tax Helpline. They are experts at knowing the tax regulations, and their goal is to help you pay as little as possible. Call right now and get a 100% free tax evaluation. Remember, before the IRS knocks on your door, knock on our door. If you owe $10,000 or more in back taxes, make this free call right now.
Call Taxes 321 now at 800-808-9443. 800-808-9443. That's 800-808-9443.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As our loved ones age, ensuring their safety at home becomes a top priority. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I'll be right back with some practical things you can do to reduce the possibility of a fall or injury.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Removing tripping hazards such as rugs and floor clutter is one way to prevent or minimize falls around the home. Another is to position grab bars in the restroom and other common areas where your loved one may need some extra support. Contact your local area agency on aging to inquire about low-cost or free installation services. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
The most important advice I can give to someone regarding their heating and air conditioning system is for them to change their filters.
And get regular maintenance from B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Hammer and Nigel here for Diamonds Direct Mother's Day. It's coming up. Guys, time is a factor. Flowers fade, but diamonds don't. Fine jewelry does not. And at Diamonds Direct, which is right there at Keystone at the Crossing by the Green Bridge, they've got something for every budget. If you're not a high roller, that's all right. They can take care of you. Nev's the manager there. Chris is one of the amazing sales reps. Go in there, talk to them, talk to anybody. The best customer service. Get that home run gift for Mother's Day or graduation or whatever you got coming up. Diamonds Direct. Tell them Hammer sent you.
This May, you can be a hero at the finish line. Say yes to organ donation and talk to your family about your decision. A message from Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Dana Meekum's 38th Original Spring Classic is back at the Indiana State Fairgrounds, and Tony Katz will broadcast live Tuesday, May 13th at noon. For tickets and info, visit Meekum.com.
All right, Matt Bear, what's up?
Inbound 65, stop and go from 38th Kessler down to Meridian Penn. The crashes have cleared, and we are slow into the north split. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic. Tibbs Avenue to the south split, a 9-minute delay. South side eastbound 465 slows from 70 to Harding, again from 31 over to Emerson Avenue. Northwest side northbound 465 loaded after 79th up to 865. Eastbound 465, stop and go traffic from Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Crash east side. This is 30th Street at Arlington Avenue. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This may be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
All right, 75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. Caller number 9 is Roger. Roger, my man, how are you?
Roger.
Why, hello. Just driving home, listening to my favorite radio show.
Right Love on, to man. Hear it.
Racers, baby.
Love to hear it, baby. We got a couple tickets of Qualls on the line here out at the Motor Speedway. We're going to play a game called Famous for a Car or Probably at a Bar. And this is how it's going to work. I'm going to give you the name of somebody that is either famous for racing a car or somebody that's probably best known for being at a bar. You get 2 out of 3, and we're going to give you the tickets, okay?
I'm in.
Number 1, Graham Rahal, famous for a car or probably at a bar.
That's probably a car.
That is correct. 1 down. All right, Roger, get this one right. We're going to give you the tickets. Famous for a car or probably at a bar, Joe Hogsett.
Oh, that's obvious. That's Joe Hogsett for sure. Every day, even when the streets are on fire.
So is that probably at a bar? Is that your answer?
That's probably at a bar, yeah.
All right, here we go. There's a winner. 55. Roger, stay on the line. The very lovely, the very talented Miss Allison will get your information, and have fun at Qualls, man.
Thanks, you guys. You guys have a good one.
All right. Dateline Florida tonight. You're getting ready to go down to Florida. What? No, you're going to St. Thomas, right?
Yeah, Virgin Islands, baby.
You've been to Florida recently, though.
Yes. Yeah.
A Florida suburb has a bit of a peacock problem.
Oh, no. I would love to have a peacock problem. Peacocks are awesome.
A local vet in this Florida suburb has launched a program to start administering peacock vasectomies. Here are residents and scientists talking about peacock vasectomies.
I mean, when I was growing up, there were no peacocks. You know, our neighborhoods were full of herons, blue herons, and ibises. I mean, the official bird of University of Miami is the ibis. That's what we want to see in our neighborhood. Those are the native species. And now, really, you would think that our mascot is the peacock because they're everywhere.
A male will fight for his territory, even to the extent of attacking his own reflection in a car door.
Peacock vasectomies, Nige. How would you feel about that?
Hey, man, if there's money in it, go for it. I don't know who invented the peacock vasectomy, but they're probably on a yacht right now somewhere, laughing their asses off, saying, yeah, I could just go back to Florida and make another $2 million in a summer.
So imagine he's on a cruise somewhere, and you go up to somebody, oh, what do you do for a living? Funny you should ask. It's a little thing called peacock vasectomies.
Are you having problem with the invasive species, the peacock, in your neck of the woods? I could come help. I'll bring my scalpel, and that's about all I need.
That's all that I need.
I swear to God, the Zionsville police blotter, I'll never forget it, reading, what all the 911 calls were for. We have a report of a baby peacock wandering around our driveway. Please get to the residence. It's a small pigeon.
Not a peacock.
It was not a baby peacock, which is probably still pretty big.
But a pigeon.
But a pigeon.
Did anybody give it a vasectomy?
I don't think so. Not at the time.
Not a lot of those happening.
No pigeon vasectomies.
Got it. Top stories coming up next.
Are you prepping for the summer heat with your energy-efficient windows from Window Nation? If your windows won't open, if they're cracked, if they're old, if they're drafty, if they let the hot air in and the air conditioning is working overtime, you got to go with Window Nation. I love Window Nation windows. I'm a Window Nation customer.
What I love about Window Nation, their products are made in America, baby. USA. USA. Window Nation, the best in the business, made in America. And right now, get 60% off a house full of windows. Window Nation offer a lifetime warranty on all of their windows. Get a free entry door when you buy a house full of windows. And you don't pay anything for 2 years. All of these things are why they are the best. Call them right now. Ask about all of the deals. Somebody will answer your call. 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION, or go to windownation.com. But you got to tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Comcast Business is celebrating Small Business Month by giving you a $1,000 small business bonus when you switch to a qualifying gig speed package from the company with over 99.99% network reliability. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 1, company merch for staff. Styling. Or possibility number 24, the latest software. Upgrade. Or possibility number 192, new equipment powered by gig speeds. Or possibility number 555, a 3D printer. Rapid prototyping, anyone? Switch to Comcast Business for over 99.99% network reliability, advanced cybersecurity, and now get started with a $1,000 small business bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
In 6/22/25, new customers only with 2-year agreement. Other restrictions apply.
Tired of hard water stains, dry skin, or smelly water? Well or City Water, C&J, the official water treatment sponsors of the Pacers and Fever, gives you softer water, cleaner drinking water, with no more taste and odor issues thanks to a high-efficiency water softener, advanced water treatment, and reverse osmosis systems. Make every drop in your home pure, fresh, and worry-free. Best prices of the year right now with C&J's Well Water Bundles and City Water Bundles. C&J for great systems, great people too. 317-733-SOFT.
The doctor's office that accidentally mixed up your files has your social security number. The power company that mistakenly cut your service has your payment info. And the hotel that lost your reservation has your passport number. You need LifeLock because your personal info is in endless places that can expose you to identity thieves. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it. Guaranteed or your money back. Save up to 40% with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
Hey, who's winning? What? Who's winning? Somebody spinning?
Race fans know the track is loud. For the hard of hearing, this confusion happens every day on the telephone. RelayIndiana.com can help. RelayIndiana.com is a free service that provides telephone access to the hard of hearing, so users have normal phone conversations through relay operators. Relay Indiana also provides free equipment to those who qualify. Enjoy the race and phone conversations. Visit RelayIndiana.com now.
Hey, it's Marco Andretti. When you hit the pump, make a better choice for your wallet and the environment. Fuel up with an Indiana Corn ethanol blend. Unleaded 88 contains up to 15% ethanol and can be used in virtually every car, while that yellow cap or Flex Fuel logo means you can grab the E85 pump. No matter which one you choose, you are lowering the greenhouse gas emissions and your bill to fill. So next time you get to empty, choose an ethanol blend for your refill. Find a station at incornandsoy.org/ethanol. This message is brought to you by Indiana's corn farmers and their checkoff.
Broadcasting from the Technology Recycler Studios, this is Indy's Mobile News, 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. The news starts now.
When was the last time you practiced your home fire escape plan? Be sure everyone in your family knows what to do if there's a fire. Get out, stay out. Ensure fire safe response.
No break for China. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump says he's not easing tariffs ahead of an initial round of trade talks with China this weekend.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent is meeting with China's top economic officials Saturday in Switzerland, but President Trump says he's not sure what may come out of the discussions.
We were losing $1 trillion a year. Now we're not losing anything, That's the way I look at it.
In the meantime, the president says he is not open to pulling back the 145% tariff rate on Chinese imports and says he's not considering a lot of tariff exemptions.
I want to make it nice and simple. I'm not looking to have so many exemptions that nobody knows what's doing. We have to make it very simple.
Additional tariffs on pharmaceuticals are expected this month.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says it's too soon to know how tariffs and other policy changes will impact the economy, but that the risk of higher inflation and higher unemployment have risen.
For the time being, we're well positioned to wait for greater clarity before considering any adjustments to our policy stance.
The Fed leaving a key interest rate unchanged for a third straight meeting after 3 rate cuts in a row at the end of last year. 3 former police officers are acquitted on state charges over a man's death after a traffic stop, but they still face prison time.
A jury finding former Memphis police officers Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, and Justin Smith not guilty of all charges, including second-degree murder in the fatal 2023 beating of Tyree Nichols. They are awaiting sentencing after being convicted of federal charges. Nichols, a 29-year-old black man, fleeing a traffic stop after being pulled from his car, pepper sprayed, and tased. 5 officers who are also black seen in video kicking, punching, and striking him with a baton. Defense attorneys argued Nichols resisted arrest, while prosecutors say the officers were directly responsible.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin, 2 of the 5 officers agreed to plead guilty on the
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A woman shot dead inside a car. The boyfriend now reported under arrest. No rain on radar now, but the forecast does say you could get some rain tomorrow and maybe a little tomorrow night. It's 77 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending at 5:02. This one's going to be rough if you have kids in the car. You may remember the murder of Savannah Harris Saturday night, and her mother telling WIBC News this.
Her psycho's dumbass boyfriend shot her head off after beating the shit out of her for weeks and days at a time.
IMPD now says they arrested 40-year-old Tremone Allen, who they believe was driving drunk when he killed Harris with a 12-gauge shotgun.
It's important to allow alumni to have a voice in their school.
ACLU of Indiana legal director Ken Falk explaining the lawsuit they've filed against Governor Braun over the new law that takes alums out of the selection process for IU trustees and gives that power to the governor. Falk says the goal is to get that repealed. A sex sting that includes some Hoosiers. Jarrett Lewis reports.
According to Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel, 205 arrests have been made and 115 children were rescued as part of this joint check child sex operation.
The prioritization of this administration and General Bondi has made it abundantly clear to child predators, you will be hunted down and you will be prosecuted.
Patel and Bondi made the announcement Wednesday in D.C. Patel said the arrests included illegal immigrants and people in positions of trust, like state troopers and police officers.
In Indiana, the arrests include 33-year-old Robert Lepenzi Jr. of Evansville, 29-year-old James Dean Collette Jr. of New Albany, 35-year-old Eric Lee Dickon of Columbus, and 45-year-old Bo R. Thornburg of Lebanon, already a convicted sex offender. Traffic and weather in 1 minute.
40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, this just coming in. We have a closure down in Shelbyville. It's on the approach to Shelbyville like you're coming from Cincinnati. Westbound 74 shut down at State Road 44 because of a vehicle fire. Looking at a crash on the east side, it's 30th Arlington Avenue. Eastbound 465 stop and go traffic. Westfield Boulevard to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65 coming in at a 12-minute delay from the White River Bridge to the North Split. Eastbound 70 delayed 10 minutes from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. South side pockets are slow. Eastbound 465 from Kentucky Avenue to I-69 again from 31. Over to Emerson Avenue. Northwest side stop and go traffic running northbound 465 after 79th up to 865. And we do have road construction approaching the South Split. It's on northbound 65, slowing us down from Raymond Street into the South Split. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Stray shower possible tonight with mostly cloudy skies and lows in the mid-upper 50s. Thursday, we'll track the chance for some scattered showers along and south of Interstate 70 with highs a little bit cooler with numbers in the upper 60s to low 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna from 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel.
Can you believe these characters are weirdos?
So let's rock it!
I missed it. Any Pope update? Pope smoke? Anything?
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Pope Pauly Shore. No Pope today, Nige.
Oh, not the no orange smoke billowing out of the...
It was not Donald Trump either. Black smoke coming out of the Sistine Chapel, which means nobody received the proper amount of votes to become the new pope.
So what do? I watched that Conclave movie that was up for an Academy Award. It was good acting, kind of boring, and the ending was like, what the F? But what they do is they vote, and then they put it in some sort of fireplace, and they put chemicals in it, and the chemicals will make it either come out black or white.
Right.
White means, oh, yeah, we voted on the Pope.
We got a new pope lined up. He's ready to go. We're going to announce it soon. Black smoke means nope.
Boy, the outrage over Pope John Trump. That meme. Which I'm not sure he had anything to do with.
Somebody in a social media team and probably put an AI thing out there.
Retweeted it. The thing with me with like I grew up Christian. I go to a Christian church. I know that Christianity and Catholicism have the same tenets, the same beliefs. I don't pray to Jesus' mom. I just, it's God and Jesus. That's who I
Oh, you're going to get more hate
you know?
mail. We got a mean-spirited direct message. Somebody ripping you. Whoever said that about the Catholics doesn't know what they're talking about.
I saw that, and maybe I don't know completely what I'm talking about. But the Pope is a man. He's a human being. He's not infallible. It's like, I understand the reverence and the respect and the millions and millions and millions and millions of people who want somebody to represent them in a religious capacity. I understand. I get it. But man, if you're putting your hopes and you're praying to the Pope and you are thinking that the Pope is going to solve all world's problems, that is a mistake. That is, and maybe again, I'm misrepresenting what people think of the Pope. I'm just saying he's a man. And the only guy I'm praying to is, the initials are JHC. Okay?
H. I like it.
Okay?
I like it.
You know what I mean? So no Pope update as of yet.
Which brings us to great moments in Pope history. Ladies and gentlemen, the late, great Norm Macdonald.
And the Pope came out with a book this week, which contains a series of essays examining faith and morality in today's secular world and the changing role of the Catholic Church as it approaches the 21st century. The book is entitled, God Himself Told Me That O.J. is Guilty.
Great moments in Pope history. If our country, if the United States of America had like a reality show to pick a pope, here's what it might sound like.
The Vatican's taking applications, and bless your beer belly, it could be you. We're hunting a genuine born and bred American to wear that big old hat. So if you can bless a casserole and shotgun a beer, then saddle up, Father Bubba. We're fixing to get a pope who can turn holy water into sweet tea and lead mass from a bass boat. Confess your sins and your cousins too.
Oh!
Taking names and saving souls.
That's what it would sound like if there were an American pope.
I vote American. I'd convert to Catholicism if it was an American pope.
If there were an American, like Southern, guy that was in the mix to be the pope, I would support him rather than Pizza Balla. And again, I don't know anything about Pizza Balla other than his name is Pizza Balla.
Pizza Balla, Pizza Balla.
Da, 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 da. We got some booze news. Cue up the band.
You set him up and I'll knock him back, Lloyd. One by one.
We are gonna read booze news, cause it's really fun.
Once it hits your lips, it's so good.
Nigel presents
Booze news, booze news.
Yeah.
Time for
booze news.
You know who the Cake Boss is, Nige? Does that name ring a bell? Allison, do you know who Cake Boss is?
Buddy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had his own reality show on like TLC or something where his family had a bakery in like New Jersey. They made crazy cakes.
Buddy Valestro.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Buddy Valestro, a.k.a. the Cake Boss, got popped for a Dewey recently.
No.
He was allegedly driving while intoxicated, and according to the prosecutor, during the arrest, the Cake Boss says, quote, I had a couple of drinks, but you can't arrest me. I'm the Cake Boss.
No, he did not.
Dropped his own name, according to the
no, he did not
prosecution. The prosecutor also said that Valestro insisted several times, I'm a good guy. Can't you just put me in a cab? I don't have to be arrested. I'm not a bad guy. I'm the Cake Boss.
I'm the Cake Boss.
Come on.
What are you doing?
It was around 1 a.m., and he was pulled over in New York City's West Side. He failed a sobriety test and was taken in for DWI. And he tried to get out by saying, come on, I'm the Cake Boss.
Come on.
Which reminds me,
I'm the Cake Boss.
Remember when Reese Witherspoon, her boyfriend or husband or whoever got popped for a Dewey, but she was also drunk and she was in the passenger seat and she was getting real mouthy and surly with the officers. She also dropped her own name and it was recorded by the body cam of the officer.
My name is Reese Witherspoon. You're arresting me for obstruction of justice. It will be in the national news. I just want to let you know.
That's fine.
Come on, I'm the cake boss. I'm Reese Witherspoon. You got to let us go, right?
That goes, that's fine. I got corrected on my Catholicism rant.
Uh-oh.
And again, keep in mind, I
like it when you get the hate mail for once.
Well, it's not hate mail. I go to a Christian church. I grew up in a Christian. I know there's differences between, like, you know, the Catholics have fish fries and beer, and sometimes the priest is kind of inebriated, which it's all foreign to me. That is foreign to me when they have the fish fries and the bingo nights. And I said something about Mary. I'm like, I don't pray to Mary. I don't do. This is from David. I'm a Catholic here. We never pray to the Pope. I never said you pray to the Pope. I know you guys don't pray to the Pope. I was confused about Mary. He's just the head of the church. Also, we don't pray or worship Mary, but we do ask her to pray for us.
Okay.
Which is still a little confusing to me.
Just think of it as a guardian angel. Like, that's Mary is a guardian angel for them. But yes, they absolutely do not pray to the Pope. That is
no,
not.
I never said they prayed to the Pope. I may have gotten it wrong on Mary.
Who prays for the cake boss? That's what I want to know.
Well, someone needs to. I think that's the real answer.
He's the cake boss. Come on.
Oh, boy.
Can I read you the hate mail that I got the other day, Nige? This was on the heels of Fun Facts for Kids, which is a recurrent segment that we do on this program.
Sure, yeah.
Which, by the way, again, this is a true story. Everything that we say in that segment is a fact. It is a true piece of information.
It may not actually be a fun fact for a child to learn, but that's what we call it. But it is a fact, indeed.
This is what was sent to me personally. Quote, "What you said on today's show was past warped. It was downright disgusting. Why on God's green earth would you think that would be funny? I'm sure you know what I'm referring to. I'm not sure how much of an act Nigel puts on when you were doing that segment. It sounded like he was not the least bit happy. I've been listening to you guys since your start on IBC, but not anymore. I know this won't have any effect on you because you think everything is about the ratings, and I understand how radio works, but you lost a listener. More than that, you lost my respect."
Listen, guys, it's been a really tough week, and maybe my burner accounts have just been out of control, but...
Sincerely, not producer Allison.
What did I do?
Nothing. You didn't do anything wrong, and neither did I. I give out pieces of information. I'm sorry the world isn't all sunshine and rainbows, right? But
I believe that's the joke of Fun Facts
I'm
for
just
Kids.
now reading a message that I got from the same guy.
Uh-oh.
It's the Pope.
Nigel, I sent this message to Hammer. I know you don't care.
But I'm the cake boss.
You most likely.
It all comes back to Buddy.
You probably think I'm some liberal who doesn't know how to take a joke. I have a warped sense of humor, blah, blah, blah. It was disgusting. Why on God's green earth would you think that was funny?
It's the exact same message.
And I wrote back. I did write back. I don't normally engage, but I go, dude, I have no clue what you're referring to. And he wrote back, okay, Nigel, I think you do, but it's okay.
But I thought he didn't listen anymore. I thought he was done. So now he's reaching out to you too? Okay. All right, fine.
Okay.
Is it Gabe Whitley, one of his burner accounts? Is he not in the... He's not in federal prison yet? Is he still out there putting Hoosier Inquirer burner things out there?
That guy, that Gabe Whitley guy, was bragging about going to federal prison. Was he not on his Twitter account?
Yes.
I'm blocked or we're blocked or something like that. But
we get sent screenshots.
He said he's going to Club Fed to play golf for 90 days. That's his... I understand it was quite a different scenario when he was begging the court to forgive him.
Oh, I was there. Rob Kendall, myself, Abdul, Casey, we were there in the courtroom, and that big old tub of lard was about to break down into tears, begging the judge not to send him to federal prison. He talked about his disability, his learning disability, and all this other crap. He was this close to tears, and now he's Johnny Tough Guy back on his 85 different Twitter handles that he trolls people with, and that ridiculous Hoosier Inquirer crap.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I need a drink.
Okay.
If you need a reason to drink tonight, it's National Tourism Day in this country. I'm a tourist. I admit it. When I go somewhere, I want the T-shirt. I want to take all the pictures of the things that everybody else takes.
I've seen the Kentucky Fried Chicken T-shirts. You have several of them.
I am that guy. I've got T-shirts from Key West, St. Pete. I want the T-shirt. I want the pictures. Which brings us to great moments in tourism commercial history. From Hammer and Nigel Tourism, we were asked to create a fun, interactive way to get people to go to Iran.
Hello, this is Mohammed Abdul Fahim Al-Jabbar, the Minister of Tourism for Iran. Unlike you filthy, savage Americans, we Iranians will not ban you from coming to our beautiful country. Come to Iran and enjoy our many attractions, such as 2 Tattered Flags amusement park, where you could play games of challenge like toss the wax head into the basket, and our audience interactive game show, Bomb, No Bomb. Plus, if you pay extra, we will simulate a kidnapping and hold you for ransom for years. Just imagine all the falafel you could eat in a dungeon with rats and smelly terrorists, groundskeepers who will cater to your every whim. Don't just take it from me. Ask my 9th wife, Fatima Abdul Fahim Al-Jabbar.
Come to Iran, a paradise you'll never leave, ever.
And like to point out, Obama and Biden gave them a lot of money.
And I'd also like to point out that Iran was a very cosmopolitan place before in the 70s. It was not the same place that it is now.
The world's largest state sponsor of terror.
It was not the same place that it is now.
Matt Baer, what's going on?
Are we still renaming the Persian Gulf?
Yes.
Just wondering, eastbound 465.
The Gulf of Cake Boss, I think is what it is.
Eastbound 465. Stop and go traffic, Westfield Boulevard over to Allisonville Road. Inbound 65, stop and go from the White River to 21st Street. That's a 14-minute delay. Eastbound 70 slows from Tibbs Avenue into the South Split. South side, eastbound 465 slow before Man Road over to I-65. Crash on the east side, 30th and Arlington Avenue, and westbound 74 has reopened in Shelbyville. It was shut down before State Road 44. It has reopened. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. At Code Radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Baer. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
75 at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. And again, it's National Tourism Day.
Yeah.
Now, Family Guy, the TV series Family Guy, they have a great commercial for the state of North Dakota.
Hi, do you like South Dakota but don't want to see Mount Rushmore? Come to North Dakota. It's just a very long drive from wherever you live. North Dakota. We're not even the best Dakota.
And again, our label, Hammer and Nigel Tourism, and I think we just played this recently, but I think it bears repeating. We put this package together to drive up traffic to the very clean, rat-free city of Baltimore.
Are you looking for a last-minute vacation spot? Well, look no further than Baltimore, where we make every day feel like it's going to be the last day of your life. Take a scenic tour of some of the most iconic crack houses in all of America.
You smoke crack, don't you?
And if you're an animal lover, you're in luck. Baltimore is home of some of the biggest rats this side of the equator. But don't just take our word for it. Here's former Baltimore Mayor Catherine Pugh.
Ooh, you can smell the rats. Ooh, Jesus.
Chief exports of Baltimore include drugs, crime, hookers with back fat, and crippling depression. Oh, where else can you see where the race riots began and where the Colts left? All in a 24-hour period. Prostitution, murder, rats, drugs, Baltimore.
Laying around, defecating.
Tell them Elijah sent you.
Happy National Tourism Day from the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Beck Toyota has been sold to the Hubler Automotive Group. But before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. And when Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. Every pre-owned Corolla, Camry, RAV4, Highlander, Tacoma, Tundra, every car, every truck, everything in the showroom, everything on the lot. Need credit? Managers will be on site, accepting applications for immediate review. Plus, Hubler's got you covered. Every Q-certified vehicle includes our 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. Before the grand opening of Hubler Toyota, everything goes. It's your chance to save like never before. Don't miss it. When Hubler says everything goes, we mean it. On US 31 South in Indianapolis, across from Hubler Chevrolet. Visit HublerToyota.com. Before the Hubler name comes, everything goes. Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event. Up to 50% off, plus free home delivery. Limited time. Exclusively to Sleep Number store near you. Learn more at sleepnumber.com.
Hammer Nigel here. You got to ensure you get every penny that's rightfully yours from Social Security. So if you're going to be filing for Social Security the next 5 years, pay attention. The amount of lifetime income that you could get could vary by hundreds of thousands of dollars, all boiling down to not only your timing, but also coordinating taxes, spousal benefits, IRAs, 401ks withdrawals, and much more.
Bill Demery, your retirement guy, he wants to give you a free retirement analysis. This analysis could help you acquire hundreds of thousands of dollars in additional lifetime income, but you got to pick up the phone. That's all he's asking. 317-648-5120. 317-648-5120. It's absolutely free. Bill Demery, Nigel and I put our name on this. 317-648-5120. Bill Demery, your retirement guy.
Guys, don't waste time and money with low-quality online TRT that charges you over $100 just to start. Visit the TRT experts at the Low T Center for a free consultation and a free test. Treatment is personalized to your body, and most major insurances accept it. Looking to lose weight? Get a free B12 shot when you start prescription treatment right now at the Low T Center. Offer is limited, but book right now. FixMyLowT.com. That's FixMyLowT.com.
No memory of hitting the car, no memory of the accident at all. I broke my pelvis, fractured a couple of vertebrae, tore my rotator cuff, broke stuff in my left foot. Yeah, I felt really vulnerable, and I just needed someone that I could trust that would handle this affair for me. I called Hensley Legal Group. Throughout the process, they were communicating with me. I have zero regrets. They helped me make the best decision for my outcome. When it happens, do yourself a favor. Hire Hensley.
I'm sure everyone says this, but my mom really deserves the world. This year, I finally found a Mother's Day gift that comes close. She loves Hellsberg, so I'm getting her these timeless gold earrings she can enjoy for years to come. They feel special enough to show how much I truly appreciate everything she does for me. And I mean everything. I even sent my dad a link to the Diamond Eternity band he'll be getting her, too.
Save up to 50% on Mother's Day gifts Mom will cherish forever. Visit Hellsberg.com or a store near you.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by B&W HVAC, Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard Air dealer.
Are you really okay with this?
Are you okay? Everything's gonna be okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'm pretty far from okay.
Are you okay with this? On the Hammer and Nigel show.
Oh, yeah!
Hammered during a traffic stop in Springfield, Ohio. Police walked up to a car and then witnessed some woman's pet raccoon wandering around within the car with a meth pipe in its mouth.
I'm sorry, what?
Police pulled over a woman, walked up to the car, saw her pet raccoon with a meth pipe in its mouth. Some of it was captured via officer body cam. Here is some of the audio.
While speaking with the driver, 55-year-old Victoria Vidal Page of Akron, about an active warrant for her arrest and her suspended driver's license, a patrolman noticed something unusual in the passenger seat of her SUV. A raccoon holding a pipe allegedly used to smoke crystal methamphetamine.
The raccoon has her meth pipe.
As what?
Oh my God. Her meth pipe. He's playing with the meth pipe right now.
After Victoria Vidal Page was arrested on the outstanding warrant, her mother told the officers that the raccoon is their pet and his name is Chewy. When the officer took the pipe away from Chewy, the pet grabbed another pipe.
Oh, there's no one. He's trying to smoke it.
All right. The officer searched the SUV and found a bag containing 7 smaller bags of crystal meth, crack cocaine, and 3 used meth pipes. Sadly, investigators say it appears Chewy the raccoon had chewed holes in the bags. Victoria Vidal Page is now facing charges of possession of drugs and drug paraphernalia.
Are you okay with this?
So you're asking me if I'm okay with a pet raccoon that's trying to smoke crystal meth? Yeah, I think I am. Look, it's not my raccoon. It's not my pet. And it seems like the officers were having a pretty damn good time watching it all unfold. And I found out the raccoon's going to be fine. They took him to, some place where they check on drug-addicted raccoons. He's going to be all right.
Raccoon rehab.
Correct. And so if everybody's good with this, who's to say that I'm not? And yes, in the state of Ohio, it is legal to have a raccoon as a pet. So it's not unusual to see some woman in her car, which, by the way, looking at the video, looks like a hoarder's nightmare in there. I mean, trash and food and lots of drugs, too. 7, 8 different bags of drugs and a raccoon that was, in essence, trained to smoke crack.
I would think
meth.
I would think, even though it's legal to own your own raccoon and own it as a pet, I would think it is still unusual to see that.
What was more entertaining? A monkey smoking? Like you've seen the video of a monkey smoking, right? Or this raccoon with the meth pipe?
Yeah, you need to get the raccoon to rehab. Yeah, a raccoon with a meth pipe.
The monkey just looks cool. It does. It's so much cooler than the other monkeys. I think they used that monkey in the 3rd Hangover movie. He runs around, gets into shenanigans, and he can light up his own cigarettes. I'm not even mad. It's amazing. Tony Kennet, next.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Maybe a chance for justice. Nothing on radar right now. In fact, the rain chances don't start until tomorrow, and that's a 30% chance. It's 77 on Monument Circle. I'm Chris Davis. Here's what's trending.
Drunk around the house last night, and I told him, don't hurt my baby. And I've been having gut feeling ever since. Ever since. Took my heart.
The mother of Savannah Harris, killed with a shotgun Saturday night on West St. Clair while riding with her boyfriend. IMPD now reports the arrest of that boyfriend, Tremone Allen. Witnesses say they believe Allen was drunk when that happened. He was seen running from the car with a beer in his hand. Interest rates being left alone by the Fed, what that means for you today.
A choppy trading session with stocks ending higher following the Fed's decision on interest rates. As expected, the central bank is leaving its benchmark rate unchanged at a range of 4.25% to 4.5%. Fed policymakers say economic outlook uncertainty has increased further and that risk of higher inflation and unemployment have risen. Fed Chair Jerome Powell says that there's no rush to cut interest rates. Also affecting markets today, news that China and the U.S. are finally ready to talk trade. The Dow winners, Disney, Amgen, and Salesforce. The Dow decliners, Apple, United Health, and Caterpillar. The Dow rising 285 points, the Nasdaq higher by 49, S&P 500 up 24. Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
The child sex sting that includes 4 Hoosiers.
Federal authorities making 205 arrests in just 5 days. Attorney General Pam Bondi and FBI Director Kash Patel speaking to reporters about what they're calling an unprecedented nationwide operation. It's called Operation Restore Justice, helping 115 victims. Federal authorities say there's a violent online network which lures teens on popular platforms and coerces them into escalating sexual or violent acts. ICE rearrested an alleged child sex predator in nearby Fairfax, Virginia, after local charges were dropped. Hiram Bacadano Rodriguez, a Honduran national, allegedly tried to abduct a 4-year-old girl during a home invasion.
Fox's Mike Emanuel. The people arrested from Indiana include men from Evansville, New Albany, Columbus, and Lebanon. That's at WIBC.com. Afternoon traffic on 93 WIBC with Matt Bear.
All right, Chris, on the northeast side, stall on the exit ramp from northbound 465 to northbound 69. That ramp is open. It is partially blocked and has us backed up past East 56th Street. A delay of 6 minutes. Crash on the east side, 30th Arlington Avenue. Inbound 65, stop and go traffic, 38th Kessler down to the north split. That's a 14-minute delay. Eastbound 70, stop and go traffic, Tibbs Avenue into the south split, an 11-minute delay. On the south side, pockets of slow. Eastbound 465 from Man Road over to I-69. Then stop and go traffic from US 31 past I-65. Traffic sponsored by Indiana Donor Network. This May, be a hero at the finish line. Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives remind you to say yes to organ donation the next time you're at the BMV. I'm Matt Bear. Follow us for instant traffic updates at WIBC Traffic.
Now your forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Stray shower possible tonight with mostly cloudy skies and lows in the mid-upper 50s. Thursday, we'll check the chance for some scattered showers along and south of Interstate 70 with highs a little bit cooler with numbers in the upper 60s and low 70s. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Stephen Deanna for 93 WIBC.
I'm Chris Davis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
The Hammer and Nigel Show. My name is Nigel. Jason Hammer right over there with a very special guest on the hotline.
He is an investigative reporter at the Daily Signal and the host of the Tony Kennet cast. Tony Kennet joining us. And Tony, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being very offended and 10 being very, very offended, how offended were you by the AI picture of Donald Trump in the Pope outfit?
Well, as a Baptist, I'm sure you guys know how important the Catholic faith is to me.
Sure.
And nothing is more important to us than this dude in Italy who says things that a lot of us find not at all important. That said, we didn't make any jokes after the Pope died, but I'm aware that there are a lot of Catholic churches that apparently have made a bunch of "I'm going to be the next Pope" jokes. And I don't know if you guys ever thought Trump had like an outside shot at being Pope. I don't think anyone who's actually Catholic or Protestant cares.
But the funny thing is, people do care. The mainstream media cares. Meet the Press cares. They had to take 10 minutes out of their interview with Donald Trump to ask him about some of the shenanigans, including the Pope Photoshop pic. Why in the world would Kristen Welker, of all people, I think I know the answer to this actually, but I mean, it's trolling to the next level.
Well, because they're not going to actually talk about the economy, because Trump is actually to the left of conservatives on the economy. They're not going to talk about immigration because Trump's popular on immigration. They're not going to talk about the judges because right now even Justice John Roberts is getting a little upset and starting to smack down the federal judges. So what do you talk to him about? Well, don't you think that meme that the 20-year-old made was a little insensitive? They haven't learned a single thing.
Watching these people melt down over that picture that were just fine with Gretchen Whitmer, mocking the sacrament, or even the iconic photo, and I use iconic in air quotes there, Tony, of Joe Biden looking at his watch during the dignified transfer of his botched Afghan situation. They were fine with those photos, but somebody goes on to Grok and makes a interesting, wacky Trump picture, then it's DEFCON 1.
And I'm also, let's remember, Biden, the very first thing Biden did on Easter morning was celebrate Trans Awareness, in your face day. That's totally fine. Again, the pro-abortion stuff, apparently that's totally kosher with the Catholics, no pun intended. But when we get over to Trump, again, the guy who literally sold trading cards of him being a cowboy, of him being an astronaut. Oh, man, no, Trump the Pope? Oh, gosh, that's so offensive and terrible. Only wine moms could care about something so trivial.
So, Tony, let's talk about the guy that had the seat before Donald Trump's second trip around the sun here. Oh, Hair Sniff
Michelle
McGee.
Obama.
Hair Sniff McGee, Joe Biden, sat down with the BBC, and there was a lot of long, awkward pauses in that conversation. We played some audio of it earlier. This is really the first time he's talked about getting his doors, taken away from him. Not blown off, but taken away from him because he wasn't the nominee. It's the first time we've heard from the old goat in a while. What'd you think?
I thought that he sounded remarkably like the Jeff Dunham ventriloquist puppet Walter. The face was just this bitter old man who was trying to sound smug about problems he caused. Again, if you don't like Trump's response to things, okay, cool. By all means, be grumpy about it, whatever. But if you're going to get out there and say, Trump is giving up land to Putin, this is a guy who slow-walked aid, who canceled shipments of javelins from the United States to Ukraine. This is the kind of insanity that Biden brought to the table. And now all of a sudden he's like, who crapped in these pants? I'm wearing them. It's like, okay. If that's your move, good for you, old man.
But and again, during this interview, he's addressing things that Donald Trump has said almost in jest, like the Greenland. Doesn't anybody think the United States is going to invade and take over Greenland? The same thing with Canada. I think he mentioned that he may have thrown the Panama Canal in there, but he's addressing these things as if they were real. It's not going to happen.
We're talking about the guy who didn't know that President Sisi was from Egypt, not Mexico. So I'm not really sure how to help you here. The guy hasn't exactly had a full case of bricks for a long time. The man's been, operating on a few watts short of a good light bulb. I don't know. I'm just glad you said he was addressing things. I think we were all just thankful he wasn't undressing.
Well, that's true. That's true, too. It does feel like there's still some bad blood there between Joe Biden and the party that pushed him out, because he was asked about stepping aside for Kamala, and it wasn't really a ringing endorsement.
Well, this is a guy who used to be in favor of segregation, so I'm not sure that there was ever a point after Obama ordered him to make Kamala Harris his VP that he was like, yeah, the mixed black woman, I really like her. Given his prior statements on the floor of the Senate, as despicable as those were, he never was going to be a fan of that anyway, the nasty old racist. And then all of a sudden to come out and be shoved underneath a bus at the same time, I don't feel for the old guy, but I do love watching, again, I've told you guys this before, this class of old Democrats who spent their youth for Biden, that's around Noah's Ark, stabbing people in the back. Now they're shocked that the youths they raised up are stabbing them in the back. It's poetic justice.
And it's really funny when you think about the fact that the way all those things you mentioned about Joe Biden are true, and even Kamala Harris during those primary debates was implying that he was a racist. Yet when Biden made that call to Kamala Harris, oh yeah, let's get to work, Mr. President. Let's get to her. She's just as culpable as he was in all that.
That's my favorite part. And I know that you two, especially given our run-ins with the incredible investigative journalism teams at WTHR Channel 13 and the Indy Star, participating in the cover-up of Joe Biden. Now, Kamala Harris and all of the rest of them, they're all trying to get their story straight on when they recognized the corpse was rotting. And it's amazing to watch in real time. The floor has fallen out completely from them. No one trusts them anymore. And so I don't know if you guys have noticed, their voices are kind of going up in pitch while they're pleading with you to keep watching them. It's really pathetic.
Yeah, they've gotten really defensive, whether it's Chuck Todd, whether it's Cizilla that used to work at CNN. We're playing audio all the time now of all these journalists. Jen Psaki's trying to carry the water.
Oh, yeah,
Nobody
it's every day.
Jake Tapper's writing a book about it. About the quote-unquote cover-up of Joe Biden's health. I'm like, you perpetuated that lie, man.
That is when Jake Tapper isn't paying defamation settlements after a lawsuit in which,
True.
Jake Tapper, Mr. Veteran Supporter, slandered, U.S. Marines. But aside from that, I don't know who they think they're fooling. The best part, though, and I know, Nigel, that you and I have talked about this before, when Jen Psaki and Gavin Newsom have got in front and said, everything was really fine until that first debate, and then just all of a sudden he was dead, as though we all didn't watch him crap his pants next to George Clooney on stage weeks before that. I think I was guessing with you when that happened.
That's right.
And falling up the stairs and down the stairs. We had
and across the stairs.
A full 4 years of gibberish man bits and segments on this program. It wasn't just that one debate. The debate was the cherry on top of the Dementia Sunday.
Do you know how bad of a president you have to be to launch the music careers of Nigel Laskowski and Jason Hammer?
That's right. Hammer and Nigel Records, baby. Hey, come back for one more segment.
You got it.
Chatting with Tony Kennet of the Tony Kennet Cast coming up tonight at 7. More when we come back. It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
This Mother's Day, treat Mom to something special at Sullivan Hardware and Garden or Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan and Fishers. Hey, Pat Sullivan here, and if you're looking to make Mom feel truly appreciated this year, we've got you covered. Start with a stroll through our garden center. It's bursting with color and full of fresh inspiration. Hanging baskets, bedding plants, perennials. We've got the best selection in town, and it's all ready to make her porch or patio pop. Then make a day of it. Brunch at Sully's or Maggie's is the perfect way to treat Mom to something delicious. Fresh, locally inspired dishes served right here in our stores. After brunch, head into the gift shop. You'll find one-of-a-kind treasures, charming home decor, handmade items, and thoughtful gifts that feel personal, not just off the shelf. It's more than a shopping trip, it's time together. And that's what Mom really wants. So come see us, 71st and Keystone, 49th and Penn, Cicero, and Allisonville Home and Garden by Sullivan in Fishers.
So Tim and Becky in Bargersville were ready to downsize, and they kind of made the mistake of trying one of those big national instant offer routes, and they got jerked around because that company canceled the sale a week before closing. So they did what they should have done. They heard about Mark Dietel on our show. Mark Dietel, local real estate expert. He stepped in and delivered big time. They had multiple offers in 4 days, and they sold as is for the price they needed.
What separates Mark Dietel from the competition is the guarantee. Mark Dietel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. You pick the move date, no long-term contracts, and you can cancel at any time. Call him today, 317-755-4232, or go online to markdietel.com. That's Mark, D-I-E-T-E-L, markdietel.com.
Cordell of Cordell & Cordell. Cordell & Cordell is the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. That does give us certain advantages, for example, in focus and resources. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. If you're a guy facing divorce, remember, Cordell & Cordell, a partner you can count on.
101 West Ohio, Indianapolis. CordellCordell.com.
When you talk about your furnace, you talk about your air conditioner, you talk about the air quality, you want the finest, you want American Standard heating and air built to a higher standard. I know this. I'm a customer. I only use American Standard equipment, and I only use American Standard Central Indy local dealers like the one Hammer's going to tell you about.
How about Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville? Danny Reinhardt started Reinhardt Heating and Cooling 39 years ago. They are one of the longest tenured American Standard dealers in all of Central Indy. Danny's sons and daughter, among some of the well-trained staff members on site right there at Reinhardt Heating and Cooling to take care of you. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling, they serve Hendricks and the surrounding counties. Make sure that system is ready for the crazy summer weather ahead by calling Reinhardt in Danville. Also, ask them about indoor air quality service. 317-745-4526. Reinhardt Heating and Cooling in Danville. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
What if the next time you painted your home was the last time you painted your home?
Our home has had Rhino Shield for 10 years.
Rhino Shield. Call 888-RHINO-41. Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off, free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
B&W's Premier Club membership goes a long way to prevent heating, air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical problems. Go to bplusw.com.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard air dealer.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel all week for your chance to win tickets to the PPG Armed Forces Qualifying on May 17th at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. More info at WIBC.com.
Matt Bear has a look at the roads. Matt Bear has a look at the roads. What a beautiful day. Sunshine and 75 right now at the American Standard Cooling Weather Center at 93 WIBC. Back with Tony Kennet. He's coming on after us tonight, 7 p.m. here at 93 WIBC. What did you think of that meeting between Canada's new Prime Minister, Carney, and Trump at the White House? It kind of feels like to me, Tony, Trump didn't even really want the dude there. He kind of showed up like a guest that showed up unannounced, and they had to have this little shindig in front of the media.
I'll tell you, I was watching it live because I had to go on Newsmax right after as like their reaction guy. And so I'm trying to take notes and come up with my best one-liners to hit him with. And then Mark Carney started talking, and, dude, I was all set. I mean, he was the guy who ran on, I'm going to stand up to Trump. And immediately they go in, they sit down in the fancy room that's full of grandma's furniture, and Trump says, so, Mark Carney, is there anything you want to say? And then Mark Carney goes, oh, you betcha, Mr. President. I'm on the edge of my seat just loving you so much, and I'm going to lick your boots a little bit there. And it was weird, but I thought it was the best thing I'd ever seen. A lot better than having to cover India and Pakistan, I'll tell you that.
But you know what? Anybody with a functioning brain could watch that and say, yes, that's exactly what happened. But you scroll through Twitter, Tony, and I know you have folks that you disagree with that maybe you follow just for curiosity's sake. You see the Aaron Rupars of the world saying, wow, what strong leadership from the new Canadian Prime Minister. He told Donald Trump right to his face Canada was not for sale.
Please.
It's a trip to watch how different people view things.
I mean, these are the same guys that told us they believed Tim Waltz when he did his chorus kicks across the stage and like, oh, yeah, and I'm really masculine right here with my tampons and my camo hat.
The chorus line kicks is fantastic. They tried to make that dude America's football coach. That dude knows about as much about football as ducks know about golf.
What did he say when he was playing Kamala Harris?
Oh, they had the Madden video game.
Yeah.
I'm going to call for a pick six. You don't call for a pick six, you idiot. It just happens organically.
It just shows you how bad the transgender movement is. They couldn't even make Tim Walz into a man.
That's right. That's right. Real quick before we let you go, I know education's kind of your wheelhouse here. What's going on in the world of education?
Well, right now, Linda McMahon, and I love that we get to say this, is beating Harvard with body slams from the top rope. I read a lot of press letters. I read a lot of letters to colleges. Way too many of them. They're boring. They're dry. This one wasn't. I read this thing and I thought, oh my gosh, it's smoking. This thing's hot. It was incredible. She basically told Harvard, because you can't seem to stop being ridiculous, you're not getting any more money, so enjoy your bowl of gruel, Oliver Twist. It was amazing. I was all for it.
And for those scoring at home, the options for Harvard to receive government funding were either not be anti-Semitic or be anti-Semitic, and they chose to be anti-Semitic, and they got cut off, and now they're crying.
Again, I'm going to make this point very clear. The argument that Harvard needed to weight things because otherwise brown students weren't going to get in seemed to forget that one of the most applicable groups of students to the university were immigrants from India. And they didn't need any special help to get in. They just worked hard, and Harvard can't seem to rectify that. So they thought, when in doubt, violate a couple civil rights laws.
Tony Kennet, you're the best. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
It's the Hammer and Nigel Show.
Well, we got the problem. We also had the solution. Guys, summer is here. Time for gatherings, time with friends and family, all these activities and holidays. But how are you doing? How are you going to keep up the pace if low testosterone levels are draining your energy? The answer, TRT with Low T Center. Trust the experts. Low T Center has been changing patients' lives for 15 years.
Right now, get a free medical consultation and a free T test at the Low T Center. And the Low T Center really is your one-stop shop for all things men's health, sleep apnea, testosterone issues. You can even inquire about prescription weight loss medication, guys. And the best part is most health insurance is accepted. So do yourself a favor. Schedule an appointment right now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com and inquire about that free consultation. Tell them Hammer and Nigel sent you.
Your future holds so much potential. The question is, are you planting the right seeds today to make it flourish? At Howard Bailey Financial, we strive to help you create a